They'll care what we're talking about. It says that we're live. Now, it's probably already listening to us saying they don't care what we're talking about already, so that's fine. Hi, everyone. We're just joining our chat. We're just having a good old chat. Ian was talking about Schitt's Creek. So that's fine.
Yeah, just finished watching it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's brilliant.
We're a minute to go before the show starts, so we can start the show now. What do you reckon, guys? Start the show?
Go. Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock. 1400 by my clock.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yeah, actually, it's by mine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Synth Geekery. If you're new, it's really nice to have you. What we do talk about here is things like synthesizers and sequencers and drum machines and nerdy kind of music stuff, music tech. Eurorack? My God, what is that? That's not a synthesizer. Anyway, nice to have you. Nice to have all our regulars too. We've got a full show today with all the regular segments, so stay tuned for that. But before we do that, just say hello to all the people that have joined us. Now, I'm going to start today by saying hello to the chatties, and it's really nice to have all the chatties here. There's only a few at the moment, so that's fine. Come on, pile on in, people. It's only a live stream. Jump into chat, say hello to everyone. While I've got you chatties there, I thought I might quickly pop this up here. There is StreamYard. Now, I think Chris has just popped him, so I'm going to add him to the stream. So he's in. Hey. And we'll go full screen. So yeah, jump on that link. I've pasted the link in the chat. You can see it just sort of floating around up there. So yeah, all good there. We've got, I think Steve was first, Cresshead. Big hello to you. You can wear the yellow Guernsey, like Tour de France style. Yeah. Homegrown. Big hello, Wagoo, nice to have you. Kent, one of our channel members, awesome to have you, mate. And scrolling down, ASIO Head, big hello to you, mate. Who else? Not many. I've already said hello. We'll say hello to Chris in a sec. Pat Brady, big hello to you. Kissing the machine. Don't do it when it's turned on. Big hello to you. And Macro Dozed. Saturday night in. Fantastic. Big hello to you as well. Right. Now, speaking of big hellos, we have a bunch of people here. Big, awesome group here. And we've also got one person so far in StreamYard, which we'll get to in a sec. Chris, no one else yet? No one else yet. Chris, you can hear me okay?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Okay. For some weird reason,
sounds like you're in the toilet, Chris.
Yeah, I've got your chat.
Bit quiet.
I'll have to fix that up in a sec. All right, let's we'll do the hellos on this side first, and then we'll go across to you and we'll sort out your audio. Right. First, starting with Darren. Yay! Welcome back, mate.
Good day. Oh dear. How's things?
We're good, bud. We're good. Fantastic.
All the better for seeing you, Darren.
God, you smooth Ian.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I didn't send any over cash.
Keep talking, Darren, because I'm trying to sort out this audio.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say really. I noticed I hadn't put a track up on YouTube for a few weeks. I went because I was messing about with live stuff. So I had to work on one yesterday, so I sort of did a live one, recorded it. I didn't video it, I just recorded it, and then I tweaked about with it afterwards because I can't leave anything alone. So basically, yeah, there's a track up tomorrow, which is sort of it's an old track that I did. I think I've done 2 versions of it. They're on YouTube, but I did them a while back, quite a while back, early days of YouTube. So it's sort of a 2023 live version of it. So it's God's Path. So that's up tomorrow. And because we've not done Name That Synth, you can sort of have a go at naming the synths on the track because they're completely raw. All the effects and anything is just the synths. Ignore the drums and everything because obviously that's not the synths. But the synth line, I'd say, well, it's 2 synths. So you can have a go at trying to name the 2 synths if you wish. Because, like I said, it's completely raw. It's just just live, done, recorded. Added a few vocals from the God's Path track, but other than that, the synths are all live and everything. So, yeah, that's what I did yesterday to get it up for tomorrow. So it should be up tomorrow at 11 or 12 o'clock British UK time. So check that out and see if you can name the synths. There's only 2 of them, similar synths, but should I give anything away what they are? Because they'll be used on the live.
Give us a clue.
They'll be used on the live rig.
No,
okay.
Don't give us a clue.
They're both by the same manufacturer.
They're powered by a wall wart. You plug them into a wall. There you go.
Everything's plugged into a wall.
Exactly. Give them a clue. There you go. There's your clue.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah. So it's they're going to be on the live the rig. So I thought I'd use them. So yeah, you can try and name them. It's not a big secret, but you can try and name them. Other than that, yeah, I've not done a great deal because that's just been taking up all my time. This live thing.
Well, exciting! It's exciting. We can't wait. It
is, yeah.
It's exciting, but it's like I was even introducing lights and things, and I thought, no, let's just do the tracks first. What's the point with lights?
Just get the music out, mate. Just the music.
Exactly. So I abandoned all that. So that was a wasted week.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I don't do that way.
Awesome. All right, we'll jump across to the next button, which is, I believe, Ian. Hello, Ian.
Hello. Hi, chatties. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. What have I been doing this week? I've sold my house, but I've got nowhere to go. I've not got anywhere to go.
Are you a hobo?
Yeah, well, I shortly will be if I'm not careful. First person that came around bought it.
That's awesome.
Gave us the asking price.
Excellent.
Well chuffed, actually. That's really chuffed.
Yeah.
So we have spent pretty much all week looking at houses, going, do we want to live there? Do we want to live in that house? All that sort of stuff. And along with getting ready for the Fringe, which is next week. So
you'll be busy with that.
Yeah. I'm going to try and pop in for the first hour next Saturday because it's in between shows. So hopefully I can give you a taste of what it's like in Edinburgh next week. So what else? Oh, and I've just agreed to buy Jim Glue's Microcosm.
Nice.
Oh.
So effects pedal extraordinaire.
I know. Yeah. So he's selling it. So we've agreed a price. And I've taken out a second mortgage. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Good on you, Jim.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting about looking for houses. I always find that fun.
It's actually looking for houses is great, actually. But we are looking a lot because we aren't quite sure even which town we're going to live in. We know roughly which county, or it's one of 2 counties. But trying to decide on the town and whether it's got what we're looking for, really. It needs to have a reasonably decent music scene, if anything.
Yeah, they say you can always change your house, but you can't change the where it is. So
no, exactly. I mean, we're looking close to Bristol and Bath, so we know that Bristol's quite a vibrant place. So. Okay. Yeah. Because in fact, apart from my mum, and we'll still keep coming up to Yorkshire, but everybody else is in the south. So the boys living in London. Jane's families are in Southampton and Exeter, so it's to shorten those journeys, really, So, and it's warmer in the south. It's grim up north. It's not really.
You're leaving us northerners.
I know. I don't want to. We really don't want to leave Pocklington because we love living here, but we've made the decision. So,
yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Happening. Yeah,
it'd be interesting, seeing each progress each week as we hear how it's,
Yeah. Wait till we start packing because we've got a lot of stuff, as everybody has. But
So obviously
that'll be good.
Where you are here, this has all got to go as well, right? Where you're in this room.
Everything's good. Yep, everything in here's got to go. And to be fair, we are looking at houses where. I do need to have a studio, obviously. So it's, ideally, we're in a 4-bedroomed house at the moment. So we're looking at a 3-bedroomed house with, a decent 3rd bedroom to be the studio stroke guest room.
Yeah.
Or another room. It could be in the garden. I mean, I'm quite happy to have a garden room. That'll be quite fun. You know,
as long as it's
and we may end up building.
Well,
yeah, we may end up building one because you know, if you can get the house cheap enough and then and there's room in the garden to build one, I'll do that. You know.
Do you guys remember Dean? We had Dean on a while back.
Yeah, Dean.
And he built that. He built that shed out the back, which I thought was extremely interesting. I haven't seen Dean for a while. Hope he's okay.
Jim's just
out to you, mate.
Jim's just asking if I've got all the boxes for my synths. Jim, I have the boxes for everything.
Ooh. We should go and say hello to Andy.
I never throw a box away.
Brooksy, how are you, mate?
Hello. Well, it's been the first week of my summer holiday. Been very eventful. I've been messing about with my new box over here. I nearly had a complete disaster. Oh Lord! When I first wired everything in there in the top rack and screwed everything in, got it all going, and flicked the power switch, nothing came on. And the little minus 12 volt LED was flickering. Oh, quick, switch it all off quick. I switched it all off quick. I thought, I've got to take it all out now and try and work out where the fault is. So I went through it, and what the actual fault was, I'd plugged in the extra flame bus cable with the one with extra sockets on it the wrong way up.
Oh.
So then I thought, I'm going to have to go through and test every module, see if it's all right. Fortunately, they're all okay. I've not done any damage. And there you go. It all comes on.
Yay.
Well, lovely lights and everything. So
look, pretty lights.
Hopefully that's
Euclidean circles is gorgeous when you switch it on.
Hopefully that's because they put bridge rectifiers in some of those modules.
I think actually a lot of modern modules, which these ones are really, have got that stuff in. So and some of them were plugged into the rails that were the right way up anyway. I didn't have an awful lot plugged into the extra bus cable, so I've got away with it. I think. There's a lesson almost badly learned.
Ouchies.
So that's that, and I've been accused by all and sundry of being a shameful drug pusher because lovely Grace has gone and got herself some eurorack modules as well now, and the I don't know if you remember it, but the cakes case from Nano, we had a look at that a while ago. It's a sort of 104 case with a strip of utilities in the top and a little handle. It's got ins and outs and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing that later. And she's got some lovely modules in it. She did a live stream last night demonstrating a couple of them. So yeah, she's gone for that make noise. Oh, what's it? Spectraphon. She's got a maths and a you ready, Darren? Get on your park bench. A Bastel analog delay, and I'm really looking forward to going and having to see what she's come up with. And it's all my fault.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. There's Mike Eden as well.
It's all Darren's fault.
As well,
Darren was the first person here.
Yeah, and I'm going over everyone's.
Yeah, you're never going to get me.
Just Ian and Jim to get next. That's it.
Although I'm liking I have to say, Andy, I'm really liking the lights. The lights attract me.
That's what does it for me.
That's why Darren got his.
Things that are shiny and blink. And I'm up.
Sunny flickering. Woo!
Yeah,
we'll get you.
All right, let's see if we can.
Our tentacles are long. Sorry, our tendrils are long.
Let's see if we can get the camera to work over here on StreamYard and see if Chris is working. Hello, Chris.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, it's working.
Am I too? Is it too loud or too soft?
No, it's
usually too loud.
I think it's okay.
It's just right.
Keep going. Yep.
I'll keep on speaking. Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone. Been an interesting week. I've been training, been learning things like jQuery at work. I feel like I'm Neo in the Matrix sometimes, where I'm, and you just sort of wake up and you go, I know jQuery. Show me.
Yeah.
JavaScript is your friend. Training. Yeah, JavaScript is pretty cool, so I'm learning that. I've been doing more work on the module, my damn module over there, trying to get the firmware up to spec. Yep, and it's getting closer. It's getting much closer, and including such that when you can make a small change and suddenly you spend 3 or 4 hours playing with it, going, I think I made the right change.
Oh, you got lost in the fun. That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. That's how I know I was doing all right. Because at the risk of losing sleep, of course, it's always the drama, always the dilemma with us wigglers. But no, that's good. I've ordered something from the Sonicware website.
Oh, nice.
Oh, have you?
What could it be?
One of about 6 things.
Oh, go on, do tell us.
Well, I wonder if anyone, if Henrik is here, he'd probably make a good guess. Is that
I reckon it's the OP1 version thing that they've done. I can't remember the name of it.
The
I don't think it's
SK1.
No.
What's it called, Ian?
Could be that.
I can't remember, but isn't that done from a slightly different website? It's not on the Sonicware website.
That's on,
it's not
that's on
Sonicware,
Udo's
it's-
website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm thinking it's a
it's
sample track.
No, I
Could
think
be
what's
a
the
sample track.
granular thing? The granular one. What's the granular one? The new granular one. I think it's that.
Nasty bastard.
He's giving away it with a smile there. Yeah.
Ian wins the prize. Yes, I'm getting
Hey!
Awesome. Well, we can't wait for that to come
So
in.
that'll be my.
It will take a couple of weeks.
That's my first. It will take a couple of weeks, but it's my first foray into any granular stuff. And I decided it was just right for what I'm looking for and for the way I work and what I want to get out of it. I did consider some, other eurorack modules because there's a lot of really cool granular eurorack modules out of there. But every time I came back to it, I went, no, I'm going to be spending, hours patching it, and then I'm going to be going, if I want to patch it again, I'm going to have to break down everything. And I'm going, I think I probably would appreciate something where I could switch it on. It'll recall the settings, the sequencer's inbuilt, the keyboard's inbuilt. It's like, okay, I guess I'm learning a bit more about myself. There are some things I really like in modular, and there's some things that don't work for me in modular. It's interesting. So,
well, you definitely weren't short of, I guess, abundance of granular stuff out there. I mean, not Eurorack. I'm talking about like synths and modules and stuff. There's plenty at the moment. It's massive.
Yeah,
it's like a little granular revolution.
Yes, exactly. Which is why I was very careful about spending a bit of time researching and considering it. But
yes,
no, I've come around to that. Come around to that decision. I feel pretty good about hitting the buy button, and we'll see how it goes. But it'll definitely be fun. That's for sure. I can take it to work and play with it in secret.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, if you guys are wondering how the hell is Chris on this show when I've only got 4 video slots and they're all taken up already, he's not joined us on that. He's joined us on while we're there. What the hell was that? That was like the wrong button. He's joined us on StreamYard. There's the link there, people. So it is for anyone who wants to join and join in on the chat. We don't bite. Ask Chris. Okay, I'm going to put Chris down in the bottom corner. While we do that, let's put him down in the bottom corner here. I do this every week, but the reason why I have to change it every week is because sometimes I need the chatties there and sometimes I don't. So, yeah. So chatties can go. What are we going to do? We will go... I can't even remember what camera you're on. 3? Camera 3? Camera 1. Sounds like a Wiggles song. Not many people know what that is.
No.
Pan X.
Wiggle.
Oops.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll fix the cropping. Pan X. Crop X. There you go. That looks alright. You almost look like you're... But you can't see yourself. So we have to do that.
Now I can. Excellent.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the only way I can do this. I might actually see if I can get that a little bit better. I seem to have gotten it better in the past. So if we pan back that way a bit, sort of get that in the middle there. Sorry, guys, this is riveting stuff. There we go. That'll do. What I would prefer is if we could zoom in on that, but that's okay. That'll do. That will do. As long as Chris is there, that's the main thing, and he's there, and that's cool. Okay, right. Well, as the thumbnail says, and I don't do clickbait. You guys probably know that. We are going to be unboxing and opening this in the show today, and yes, it is real. It is the Perfect Pitch PP1. You can take a little pippy. It hasn't been opened yet, so there's that. I've had it sitting here all week, and I've been like, hurry up, show. That's that one. And the second one is this baby. We're going to open that as well. That one hasn't been opened yet either. Yes, it's the APC Mini Mk2. Yes, I've already got an APC Mini. You guys have probably seen me show it to death. It runs the show. So why have I got a Mark II? Well, because it's better. It's newer. It's better. Shut up. I'm allowed to buy stuff.
Better.
Stop judging me. Right. But before we get into that, yes, it's a teaser. We have to wait. We always get into that. What I'll definitely do, guys, is we'll plug the PP1 module in here where the static is. I'll take the static out. There's a bit of room. So we'll do that in front of you guys. You can see the whole thing there. But before we do all that, we need to get through our regular segments, starting with, and we've got a massive funny side this week. Massive. It's going to be hard to keep up, but let's start with this one.
Robbie!
Where's Robbie? Is he in chat?
Robbie!
I haven't kept an eye on the chat yet. Haven't seen him.
No.
That's his house, by the way. Next is trying to memorize the button combos on several of my eurorack modules, including the mutable instruments ones.
There you go, you see.
Here we go. Here we go.
One button.
Let's keep going. Tell me if I'm going too fast, all right? Because I always go backwards. Next one. When you have convinced yourself that the clone you just bought sounds as good as the real deal, this is for you.
Come on.
There's been a lot to this stuff, trust me. Another doorbell. So this is Eddie's house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's guitar pen.
I hate those ring doorbells, by the way. They really shit me. It's like you ring it, and then some guy's in his office 200 k's away, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not home." And then you're like,
"What do you want?
Why are you talking to me then? Just tell me, Anyway. And then there's the Ableton frozen tracks, and you can move them with this baby. Isn't that cute? That is the cutest thing ever. Dear.
Like a Tonka.
Then we have three types of men. We have a vocalist, a drummer, and a modular guy. refer to the top photo again. You go to the bottom photo, then you go back to the top photo and go, I get it now. I think that originally said
guitarist.
I think it said vocalist, guitarist, and then it said drummer on the right hand side. But obviously, a drummer has got himself and edited this on some really bad photo editing software. Anyway, it's the cure to male loneliness. Dear. Lots of this stuff. In a surprise announcement, Roland enters the smartphone market with their huge screen.
That's a good one. That's clever.
That is very good. I bet you Darren likes that one. And then there's this one.
Oh, yeah.
Belinda. Why can't you just buzz like the rest of us?
That's great.
I thought it was good
another drone.
I thought it was good because it's Belinda the Bee. It was clever. Yeah. Belinda the Bee. I told the guy that too. When musicians unite, as they realise streaming isn't viable. We need to probably do that, people. And then, what else we got? The button didn't work. Are we at the end?
Got a new one.
Oh no!
Are we at the end? We're at the end! Hooray! Hey. Do you know there was 10 this week? There was 10. Okay. Can anyone remember what their favourite is? And chatties, do join in with that as well. I wonder where Andy is, by the way. He's not here.
Well, mine has to be Belinda the Bee. Because one of the houses we looked at has got a beehive in the back of the garden. So, and actually, Belinda is my son's fiance as well. So, hi, Belinda. She'll never see this. But no, Belinda the Bee is mine.
Well, there's Belinda the Bee up there.
In the Roland phone.
Yeah.
Roland phone?
Yeah, the Roland phone's got to be.
I like the Roland phone.
Roland phone? Lots of people are saying doorbell as well. Okay. Which doorbell?
Doorbell's okay.
Which doorbell?
Oh, I think that Roland phone screen's a bit too big.
I think Roland phone is getting it. I think Roland phone's getting it. Which is very interesting.
Being like little red LED.
What? You mean finally a product people are going to buy from Roland?
Oh, well, here it is again.
Oh, I'm just pushing buttons.
That was definitely very clever. Whoever made that meme.
That's bigger than what they actually use anyway. Needs to be a few lines shorter than that, doesn't it?
I can't even read it. I'm pretty sure it's a message from Mum, and it says, "I got a Behringer." The RD9 909 clone. I just realised it,
and it's great. Haters gonna hate.
That's gotten even better now, that meme, because of the messages on there from Mum.
That's the hi, Mum.
Anyway,
hi, Mum. I need to buy Behringer.
Memes are done. Let's do news. Oh, are we getting glitter? We're getting glitter from you, Chris. I don't know why. Starter, digital starter. just chill on the Ethernet, mate. Just chill it out. I'm just kidding. Let's do news. And of course, it's gone to the second one, or the third one even. Let's just go back to the first one. Let's go back to the first one because I really don't be bothered. All right, you got a sneak peek to the third one. Who cares? Next, we are looking at something modular. Yes, it is something modular, but that's actually the name of the company.
So it's at the bottom.
Yes, Voyager ladder filter. And this thing, it caught my eye a little bit because it is a multiple slope ladder filter, which I thought was pretty cool. And I mean, I'm not going to go out and say, oh, there's heaps of these and, such and such has got one and blah, blah, blah. I just thought if you just can't be asked, buying a $2,000 synth that's got something like this in it and you just want to chuck it in your eurorack, this thing's only going to cost you 186 euros. And there's a video. And the kids are arguing in the background. Wonderful. Ah.
Yeah.
Not that, this. That's for Andy, that last bit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just keep knocking the camera, mate. This is 6 dB. Everyone can read. I know. This is for the blind people. It's a bit noisy. A little bit noisy. Alright, now we'll do 12. pump that resonance up, boy. Okay, don't do it then. There we go. Geez, he was a bit quick on that, wasn't he? Cool. Anyway, you guys can watch the rest of that later. It's probably not groundbreaking, do you know what I mean, as a module, but I just thought having those switchable slopes is handy, because you guys will know that resonance sounds, more meaty in a 12 dB than it does in a 24 dB. All that sort of stuff happens, right? So, thoughts? Love, hate, whatever?
Sounded very nice. Sounded very nice indeed.
Yeah. It's quite interesting that you can just pick the different slopes. Somewhat different, isn't it? There's not that many, I don't think.
I can think of a few, but not many. Yeah, and I just thought as a module, that could be handy. Was it Moog enough though? I don't know. It's probably hard to tell with that video, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to.
I've
only got one here.
Sort of sounded halfway in between a classic Moog and a Roland filter, sort of somewhere in between, probably heading in that direction, because it was starting to get a 303 type filter sound, certainly at the 6 dB.
That's the 18.
The 18.
It's an 18 dB. It's an 18 dB on the 303.
Yeah. That's probably right.
I mean, was it modelled after the Voyager itself, as in the filter that's on the Voyager synths?
It doesn't actually say, right? It says takes inspiration from renowned filters. That's all it says. And I'm interested to know, and they're saying it's a transistor ladder, so is it done properly? We should probably get Kent on here to, talk about it a bit more. But we all know that not every transistor ladder filter is the same, right? So more info, please, because some of us like to nerd out on that stuff. We're like, oh, it's this type of ladder. But yeah, I mean, some people don't care as long as it sounds like a Moog. Yeah.
How much is it?
186 euros. Maybe on the little pricey side, but selectable. Yeah. I don't know. I could have sworn it said something about the outputs being in stereo. Let me just check my notes, because I thought that was something that was interesting as well.
There were two outputs.
Yeah, there's two outputs. Yeah, so that you can...
There's a 24 and a selectable.
You can do pole mixing between the two outputs, which I thought would be interesting. So that might just be another thing. So you have... where's the graphic gone? You've got out there and out LP4.
Okay. So the right-hand output is always doing 24 dB, and the left-hand signal is doing whatever slope you selected.
Yep. So you've got a
comparator. It's got a CV for resonance, which is quite cool. A lot of filters don't have that.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
And it has two CVs as well. So on top of that, nice. Brooksy, so you've got two CVs plus the resonance CV.
Yes, yeah. So you could put in an envelope and an LFO.
Yeah.
That's useful.
Is there a slope CV? That would be even more interesting. No, doesn't look like there is.
Yeah.
Maybe thoughts. Anyway. There's not, by the way, guys, there's not a massive amount of stuff being released on the market. So all of this news this week is probably going to be eurorack. And I've picked it out of just browsing through Modular Grid. So some of it may be a few weeks old, but that's okay, because I've picked it because it's interesting. Next one I picked specifically just for Brooksy, actually, because it's what you've been doing. And this is a DC power module called Schottkey.
Chain.
Schottkey's the brand, I think.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this, it comes in two forms. You've got a 30 watt and a 45 watt. You can order either. It obviously has the three power outputs on the back, 5, 12, and -12. And you just, for those people who are sort of wondering what's 30 watts do and what's 45 watts do, around 1 to 2 rows is a 30 watt, and around 2 to 3 rows is a 45 watt. Now that's going to be really dependent on how many HP your rows are and how many little 2 HP modules you've got as well. So that's very, very generalistic in what they're saying. But you can use one power brick module for powering multiple power modules, which I thought was interesting. So you could buy one power brick, and you could have this, connected up to a couple of different of these. The reason why you'd want to get something like this, and I should probably pop over to the website while we're looking at it, is because they're handy if you've got a eurorack skiff and you don't want to buy another eurorack skiff, but you've run out of power in your skiff, and you can just whack one of these in. Right, you can buy one of those flying bus cables that Brooksy showed us last week, and or you can connect a Molex connector on the back to a bus board if you've got a spare bus board lying around. The USB connector is 5 volts, and it's just for there if you want to power something. I don't know how many amps it is. It might tell us. No, I don't think it does tell us, which would probably be handy. They do tell us what the 5 volt rail is, but they don't tell us what the amperage is on the front. I don't think it even says it there, does it? Anyway, so when you buy it, you can select what version you want and whether you want a power brick. This is Australian dollars because I'm on Etsy. It's just converted. Sorry, guys. So just recalculate it in your... so you're looking at what? That's not cheap. $40 for a power supply.
Yep.
Pink or blue? Blue would be probably the 45, I reckon. Yeah, there you go. So pink is the 30 watt, blue is the 45. So yeah, it's probably not the cheapest thing in the world, but it might be cheaper than buying a new case. Why does this happen? It happens because a lot of people are buying these types of modules now because they like not taking up HP. And the problem when you're buying these type of modules, like this little 2 HP LFO, they're really great, but they take power. They take up a power spot on your bus board, right? When you run out of power spots on your bus board, what are you going to do? You can buy one of those modules. Brooksy, what did yours cost you? How much was yours?
£75 plus 35 for the
DC
power brick.
Wow.
That thing.
Yep.
Oh, can't see it.
I'll go full screen on you, bud.
You could. There you go. It's that thing there. It's still sitting on it. It sort of sticks in the back of your throat having to spend that sort of money. But I was, for all sorts of reasons, it made sense to get the actual tip-top power brick. You know that it's going to be set up right and work. Well, assuming, of course, that the idiot on the other end actually knows how to put the wires in on the back. So that's that. I mean, it's a similar price to that one. The tip-top Micro Zeus is probably a little bit wider than that Schottkey one that you've just shown. But I've already got one of those Micro Zeuses, and I know that they work and they power 2 cases. Power 2 104 rows quite happily. So it made sense for me to get that. There are other alternatives out there. 4MS do some as well, which are rated in different wattages. They're a bit more expensive for some reason. Don't really know why, but they are.
How many watts was yours?
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know how many watts it is. It's
what's yours called again?
It's a 3 amp power brick. It's the boost power brick. So the standard one is 1 amp. Then you can get a 2 amp and a 3 amp. This is a 3 amp.
So tip top.
So I'm not really sure.
It's a Uzus, isn't it? The tip top audio one, right?
Yeah.
Is it the 4 HP one that you got?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and why did I just do that on the other computer? I could have just done it on this computer, and I could have shown everyone what I was looking at. It is doesn't say how many watts it is, but you can work that out. It's 3 amps. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, that's the power. That's the boost power supply.
And 3 amps is toasty. You know, it's toasty. And you can run 2 bus cables from it, can't you?
3. It comes with 2. It comes with 2 bus cables on it, which only have 5 headers. And I knew I needed more, so I bought another flying bus cable with 15 headers on it. So I've got plenty. I've got plenty of headers in the cases now. So the lower case, this one actually has a bus board in the bottom, which was actually a 4MS bus board with shrouded headers, and you just connect a cable to it. So you don't need to do any wiring or anything like that. It just goes in.
Yeah, like the Behringer Go case.
Sticky pads. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they've got them built in.
Yeah,
they've already got them built in. So,
a couple of quick comments about the power stuff. Partly because I just had to redo one of my cases. Because the power supply was way underpowered. Older IntelliGel cases didn't have a very powerful thing. It was like only, I think it was 1500 milliamps or something like that, and the newer ones are like 3000 milliamps. So the power just about anything. The problem is you always run out of power connectors, and the newer ones has shrouded headers, which is obviously perfect because the older one didn't. So it was like the depth first stuff. So that's always a nightmare getting it keyed in there, not bending your pins and not all that kind of stuff. But what I discovered is they won't sell you the fancy version that replaces the one that comes in the 7U cases, because they reserve those for the 7U cases only. So on their website, they sell you one, has the same power spec as the case one, but it has less connectors, by 8 or 10. It's quite a lot. So what I discovered is you can put those flying bus cables all over the damn place. As long as you have the juice, it doesn't matter how many connectors you have. I put several flying bus cables all over my power supply. So I got 40 connectors or more. Which is fine. So that's a little trick you can use. You don't, even on a regular power supply, you can use flying bus cables, and don't worry about how many physical ones you have on the power board, because you've got enough juice for all of that stuff, and that way, if you have a lot of 2 HP stuff like I have, and a lot of other weird sizes where you're going to use up all your headers pretty damn quickly, you don't have to worry about it because you have endless damn connectors practically of the flying bus cables. So that solved my problem of them being stingy about how many actual headers that I have. And I had no power issues whatsoever because, it's a very beefy power supply. So that's one thing. The other thing is weird that their company is called Schottkey, since that's a type of diode. So I don't know how they got away with using that name.
Maybe that is the company.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know. It's not capitalized. Maybe that's how they get away with it. But and the other thing is anyone who's having power issues or soon-to-be power issues on their thing, look up the Constant Lab with a K. It's a German company. Constant Lab Power Checker, PWR checker module. It's only 1 HP. It has a light for +12, -12, and 5. And I have one in every case. And as soon as you turn your thing on, you look for those 3 green lights. If you don't have it, turn it off immediately. And you don't have to worry about anything else in your case as far as is that one working? Is that one working? Because you haven't fried anything, and they're all working before you even touch anything.
Yeah, the Arturia rack.
If you want to just go back, if you want to go back to me, Ranzee, if you can see on the power on the Musus, that's the module on the left and the bottom, the 3 lights. So when I powered it on the other day, when I'd wired it all in, and there was only the lower 12 volt LED just flickering. I thought that switch it off straight away. Ooh. So camera sickness, everybody. There we go.
I'll just quickly show you this too. Even if the Arturia rack boots have got them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places that have got that. But like Andy said, if you don't have that module's handy. Yeah.
And it's green, stands out from a lot of other, not all modules have green diodes these days. So it's very handy, and then you just have the little strip, turn it on. Oh, it's clean. I'm good. Don't have to worry about anything. No smoke, and you're good to go. Yeah. I've fried a few modules. That's how I know. So,
by the way, if you do get the Synthetech bus boards, they have the LEDs on the bus boards as well. So that's another cool thing about those with the shrouded headers. All right, now next is
TRS-Bridge is a 4x4 MIDI router and merger in eurorack format. Each of the MIDI inputs can be connected to one or more of the MIDI outputs. Similarly, each of the MIDI outputs can receive MIDI data from one or multiple inputs. TRS-Bridge distinguishes between 3 types of MIDI messages and can route these independently. They are also color-coded for quick data stream visualization. Note and CC in red, MIDI clock in blue, and sysx in yellow. The simple user interface allows to quickly change roundings on the fly. TRS-Bridge will automatically restart clocks and send note off messages if necessary. This avoids MIDI devices being out of sync or hanging in notes. TRS-Bridge accepts both TRS types A and B at its inputs. The outputs can be switched between type A and B individually. Thus, TRS-Bridge is the perfect interface between all kinds of MIDI devices.
Well, there it is there, the TRS-Bridge 4x4 MIDI TRS router / merger, and also splitter as well. I thought this was an interesting module. I really did. I don't really know, to be honest, what else this thing can do, but it looks like it's quite capable. There was a massive amount of information on the website. I'll just quickly take you over there now about what this thing can do. So without me sort of wasting a whole show on this one module, there's lists and lists of stuff what this thing can do, merging and routing, note, clock, and sysx. That's got me interested, the sysx side of it. So I'm going to be looking more into this later. But some of the things like auto restarting with clocks and phasing clocks and that sort of stuff has got me interested with MIDI clocks, that is. And it's low latency, which they say it's pretty good with 30 microseconds. And 6 HP module. You're looking at, I've lost my page now. Where's it gone? You're looking at €200 for that sucker. 4 TRS MIDI and in type A and B, so you don't have to worry about what type you're plugging in, which is cool because you might have your eurorack stuff set up. You might want to route some MIDI into it, but also you might want to route your MIDI to some of the gear that you've got nearby, like Arturia stuff or Novation stuff. And then, as you guys know,
and God knows which
Novation,
is
A and B, you don't know which one's which. So that would be handy just on its own. Thoughts about that one?
Well, Mr. X101 said, but why in a eurorack module? And the only reason that I can think of is that there are increasing numbers of modules now which run off MIDI rather than control voltage. I mean, things like those polyphonic modules, like the polycinematic module and the oxy thing, polyoxy. Oh, that module. The name I've forgotten. Yeah, what's it called? I can't remember. Oxycloud.
Is it called?
We've been mentioning it on here. That polyphonic module, it's polyphonic and multi-timbral, works off MIDI. There's the new Dreadbox stuff.
Oh, I know what you mean.
MIDI. There's the Hermod Plus. That's got the old Hermod. I've got MIDI in and out. The Bitbox Micro, which I've got here, that's got MIDI in and out as well as control voltage. So these are things which are becoming more common within Eurorack systems. So for that reason, I think it might solve multiple routing problems within your rack if you've got a number and you're wanting to run them via MIDI. So yeah, West Pest says synchrotron. Yeah, yep.
I have a bunch of MIDI modules. Yeah.
Oxycoral. Thank you, Mr. X. That's what I was.
Yeah. I just thought it was really interesting, that module. I don't think I've seen anything that does it kind of like that. I mean, lots of the MIDI modules you're seeing are CV gate or vice versa, CV gate to MIDI.
Which will only ever be monophonic unless you're plugging in multiple CV gates into it.
Yeah.
So a polyphonic module by default is going to have to be triggered by MIDI. Yeah, Chris is waving at something.
Yeah, well, I'll go to Chris. I was just going to quickly mention before I do go, Chris, that this is kind of like the MRCC that I've got, but in a Eurorack module format. And the MRCC is a MIDI routing control rack mount thing, right? So you can go, right, I've got this hardware MIDI device. I'm going to press that button out, and then I'm going to mount it to this input, in. And you literally just go out to in, and then all of a sudden you've just got your routing done. So this thing has that sort of same sort of feature.
Yeah. Plus it's TRS, which there seems to be very, very few TRS sort of MIDI boxes, considering they're supposed to be putting a lot of TRS MIDIs on smaller synths these days.
Yeah.
Let's
go to Chris.
Yep. I was just going to say, finally something proper being done with the CPU and a MIDI device. I think I was talking about this a few weeks ago, how I was thinking we were going to start seeing more of this kind of thing. Someone's realised, I think, that what underutilized CPU can do with this MIDI with the MIDI processing, that they finally realised that people would actually want something like this. So yeah, it's good to see something proper. I'm interested in it too because particularly the A and B. Do you know if did you say it auto detects which one you plug in to the output, but you have to select perhaps the one that's going on the input? That would kind of make sense.
Yeah. I didn't say if it did auto detect it, but yeah, it might.
I was just thinking about, my mind's thinking about the circuitry behind it, and it's pretty easy to swap the two signals on when you're transmitting MIDI, but it's rather difficult to do it with receiving MIDI because of the position of diodes and optocouplers means you have to do some signal routing.
Yeah.
So that would have taken a bit of extra stuff.
In the video, he uses the words automatically accepts both TRS-A and TRS-B as the inputs. So I'm guessing that's what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's clever.
But then
I've been messing about with a bit of stuff like that recently.
Then you select individually what type of out you want. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's just funny. I would have thought it would be the other way around. They must have thought it was more important to receive it automatically. Though, again, it's a classic case of user demand driving the design rather than, electronic design driving the design, if you know what I mean. Because that's usually what happens. They usually just build it the way it's easy to build it, easy to design it, and then think, oh, that's something, we've done something, that's kind of what they wanted. But this sounds like they've actually gone, no, they really want the inputs to be automatically detected. So we've got to do the work. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice looking module too. You haven't told us how much it is yet, have you?
No, he hasn't.
Tell us. €200. I thought I did.
Yeah, he said 200.
Yeah. By the way,
pretty light.
Yeah, go in.
No, I was just going to say it's got pretty lights. I was being facetious.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I just wanted to quickly show you these. We've mentioned these guys before. That's the sequencer. We've shown this before a while ago. They've also got. I actually like some of their stuff that they do. These guys. The drum module. Pretty sure we've shown that as well.
Yes.
So yeah.
I really like the aesthetic.
Yeah, they've got some really interesting stuff. There's a lot more there too. It's, that drum module, by the way, is based on a TR-606 too, which is interesting. Because that was like a nice sort of analog sound that people liked, and they've kind of made it funky and hackable, which is I liked. All right, cool. Shall we move on to the next? Next. There's not many, but I thought this was also interesting. This is actually a new product. Why don't we quickly go to the video first before we talk about it? There's a video.
I can't see it at the moment, Rant.
Hello and welcome back. Today I'm introducing my Spring Tank Reverb Driver Module, version 2. All the great sound and features as before.
Nice prototype.
Now in 4 HP with added feedback knob. Take note the drive setting is now a trimmer on the PCB. Set and forget. While my driver module is optimized for medium tanks, it can easily be modded to handle long and short tanks as well. More on that shortly. So far you've been listening to a vintage folded line medium-sized tank like those in the Roland Space Echo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Next up is a longer size tank. Changing the resistor R8 to 100 ohms gave the bigger tank a little extra juice to do its thing.
I thought I'd play that a bit longer because I just enjoy the Reverb tank stuff. And he plays a whole bunch of different ones in the video. There is more, so go check out the video. Don't forget, links are always in the description / blog article, you know, after the video's gone live. You can go check it out. Now, I do have a Reverb tank. It's the Dope for One. I don't use it probably as much as I should, but there it is there. It's the 199 Spring Reverb, and you can see there's the audio cable there. That behind, if I bash this thing, you can actually bash the Spring Reverb behind this case.
Where's the tank?
Behind it, literally like down underneath. There's like.
Have you mounted it in the case? Have you?
No, it's just sitting on the desk. So if I zoom out a little bit, is it this button? I'll zoom out a little bit. You can see between these two modules, there's a gap here. Right, between the two cases, there's a gap, and it's just literally sitting underneath. So yeah. Now, it's really quite an awesome thing. But one of the things that does my head in is that the Spring Reverb tanks. I have a heap of trouble trying to sort of combat noise, you know, because
noise always a problem.
They just pick up everything. The Springs.
Yeah. Is it like a radio aerial as well? Yeah.
Whenever I see people do videos in Spring Reverb tanks, I get so jealous because they always sound awesome, and I'm like, I can't get mine to sound so clean. So that was a pretty cool video. The module we should probably talk about briefly, as that's what the show's about. I thought it was interesting because you can connect up, like you're showing, a whole bunch of different types of reverb tanks to it. But on top of that, it's got a feedback and a drive circuit in there. Now, the drive circuit is set and forget on that that trimmer pot. You can see the blue trimmer pot on the PCB. But the actual, the feedback, and the Dopefer's got a feedback control as well. I just thought it was pretty interesting. Now, price-wise, you're looking at only €100. Don't forget, it doesn't come with a spring reverb tank, so that's why it's pretty cheap. Now, HP-wise, it was pretty small. It was only 4 HP.
Dopefer come with the tank?
Dopefer comes with the tank, yeah. And they were pretty cheap as well, yeah. Definitely, I definitely recommend the Dopefer one because the tank and the module and everything is really good quality, really high-end. I was thoroughly impressed with it. So, yeah. But people have pulled out reverb tanks from those Roland
on my list
things, and they pulled them out of the ARP 2600s. They pulled them out of so many different things, right?
The one I got with my Coma field kit's pretty cool because it's an open design, so you can actually pluck and scrape the springs.
Yeah, same with the Dopefer. Yep,
so
the Dopefer's
yeah,
open
it's really
as well.
fun. Yeah,
yeah, and you could, you can tap your desk, you can run a pen over it. There's all sorts of cool things.
And play that into your microcosm, Ian.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's got to happen, isn't it? It's got to happen.
With the feedback, too, you can get really spacey sounds. Like if you're into that sort of cosmic 1950s, 1960s radio space, shows that they had, you can get some really cool sound effects from spring reverb tanks. It's just good fun.
I can see Ian buying a Eurorack module anytime soon.
No. It's not
just get the pod case will limit you. Get the small pod case and put that in there.
Yeah, well, actually,
he's resisting.
I am resisting, but there are other things that
resistance is futile.
Right.
Exactly.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Half gob, half beast.
Eurorack is patient.
Actually, I probably should bring his comment up and we'll talk about it. So this is the problem. Like some countries,
noise issue.
They don't have noise issues because they have a third connector on their power, and some countries don't. So let's just bring up this because I think it's a good discussion. Okay. So he's saying earth the tank to a true ground, i.e. pole driven a couple of feet into the ground. In Australia, I don't know if it's law, but where I live in my state, Western Australia, you actually by law have to have a copper pole driven into the ground, and there's an earth wire, which is a pretty decent core that's attached to it. And that's your earth for your entire house. All your electrical is earth to that. So technically you could, in fact, literally out that wall and down is where the earth wire is. It's literally on the other side of that wall. So it wouldn't be far for me to do that. But anyway, so some countries, when you plug your stuff into the wall, you've only got, your 2 prongs, and some you've got your 3, right? So you've got your earth. And that does cause certain earthing issues and stuff in different countries. So it's a good discussion, but what do you guys think?
Well, I think it sounded fab, that.
Yeah?
I think I'll go for the Dopefer one, though.
Yeah. And look, the Dopefer one, there's nothing stopping you from plugging any other reverb tank into it either, because it comes with just an RCA connection. You should be fine. So that's the back of the Dopefer module is an RCA connection as well, like this one.
Even the fake tanks like the Intellijo 1U, it's like a digital spring tank, but it sounds really good. So it's cheap.
I'm not a big fan of fake spring reverb though, because it just does not.
You can't bang it, but you can.
Yeah, but it doesn't do what spring reverb does. Never.
Yeah.
It's a bit like your BBD chips.
It doesn't have extremes.
It's something organic about them, the real things. I get it. It's not necessarily a sound I'm super craving for, but when I hear it, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what spring reverb sounds like. Yes, it's particularly good on those sort of sci-fi things, or that sort of menacing, chunky stuff that he was doing right at the beginning of the video.
Yeah,
which was rather tasty. So yeah, it's if you're craving that sound, then this sounds like it could be quite a useful module. Anyway, it sounds like it's nicely resolved.
Your audio is weird.
With its different gain staging. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it warbling?
It's like a bit crushy sort of thing, and it's making you sound very young, and it's kind of like resampling your voice with gaps between it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
He's glitching.
Yeah. Sample him.
It's definitely not my end because
It's not a vMix plugin, Ranzee.
Okay.
You didn't turn on a little plugin.
Can I just say I'm appalled because Kent Spong has bought a Eurorack system.
Yeah.
He's bought a Eurorack system. So
and he blames us.
There's another one gone down. There aren't many of us. There's only got to be
No, to do with me, Ian.
Left. I'm not so sure about that, Andy.
And Jim.
Oh, there's Jim. There's three of us. Yeah, there's three of us left.
It's almost like as if it's a thing that you shouldn't do, and like Andrew, Darren, me, Andy, Chris are all being naughty, and we should be punished.
You are.
I mean, I did it like 6 years ago all on my own, and it's been fun.
You're all drug addicts.
A couple of effects modules.
Andy's an old hat.
Cool.
With this.
Yeah.
How long has it been with me?
It's only been 2 years.
I wanted effects.
I
didn't have effects, the certain effects units, so I got a small case
Probably
and I
4
put some
years.
effects modules in there.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Darren?
Actually,
About 4 years?
Andy, I can see me doing that to some extent. Small effects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because early on in the show, once it was after we'd got the show just about working, and then you'd got some.
I got the Neutron, and I had a. My first Eurorack module was a Roland Bit Crusher. I think it was called I don't know. I can't remember now.
Oh yeah, the three of them.
The Demora.
Yeah, something like that.
The Demora module.
Yeah, but I think it was something else.
3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, and I had that one, and I bought it because I got wind that they were going to discontinue them, so I bought it brand new, and then it sat there in a box for about a year before I actually put it into a case and actually used it. So yeah, but that's
You didn't need to. You could have used it standalone.
Oh no, I meant like I did use it standalone, but I meant like properly use it in Eurorack. Yeah.
Right.
So what did Kent get?
He's bought Behringer.
He got the System 55. Okay.
Yeah. Nice, Kent.
So that's the Behringer one, right? The System 55.
Yeah.
It's
their Moog clone.
It'd be interesting to see what he thinks of it because
I've
heard mixed result.
Well, Benj did a side by side of the System 55 next to a Moog System 55, and he was saying this is remarkable. He was really, really taken by it. I mean, we know the old story. They're never going to be exactly the same. They can't possibly be because they're surface mount components and etc. But they've done an extraordinarily good job on it. And those people who have used them say that they do sound phenomenal.
Those System 55s.
I mean, I've only got
too.
Yeah.
Well, also new too. They're not 30, 40, 50 years old. So
yes.
Well, exactly. Yeah. No, they have produced a new. They did release a new one, didn't they?
Yeah.
A few years ago.
The 30
got one. So
there was a 30 and something else.
They do a 10, a 15, a 35, and a 55.
That's it. Yep.
So they're varying sizes. So,
I never really.
All
got
I can
into
judge
that.
on is the 960 sequencer. And I've only got the 960 sequencer. I've not got any of the others. So.
What's Native VS got? He's got the.
He's got
35,
a 5U system. No, he's got.
Oh, has he got
a .com synthesizers.com
okay.
and various other manufacturers in 5U, and he's got a couple of other little Eurorack modules as well, like the RYK 185 sequencer, and the Buchla clone he's got as well. But that modular that you see behind him is a 5U.
Right. Okay. Oh, the .com. Yeah. Hey, we should keep going. I think there's another product. Yes, there's actually another one after this too. So this was interesting. I just wanted to show you this because this is an $8 DIY project. Now, I know some of you guys don't like getting solder irons and that stuff. You could probably pay a mate to do this for you, but $8 for a VCF. It's parts only. And the guy did a little video. I'm not sure how good the video is, but he's showing. This is the $8 VCF. It's a V3320, by the way. lots of DIY modules there.
Yeah, he's built his own system, hasn't
he? Sounds very SH101-y, doesn't it?
It does sound very Roland.
All right, 4 minutes of video. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put you guys through that. You guys can check that out. But I just thought, geez, $8 to put a eurorack module together. If you know what you're doing, here's the website. It's linked in the thing, but I just thought I'd quickly show you. Can you guys read that?
Wagyu can. Wagyu,
Anyway.
can you translate it for us?
It has a frequency pot. No. Anyway, so you guys can work all that out later. But I just thought, interesting wise, how cheap you can actually, like, we looked at that VCF module at the start of the show, and it was at 180 euros, and then this thing is $8 US to make, and it's a Roland SH101 filter basically. And for some people, they're probably thinking, maybe I might have a crack at the soldering iron for $8. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
I mean, as long as you don't burn it and get cold joints, they're pretty easy. So they don't have to be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say something, but does my audio still sound freaky?
No, it sounds good.
No,
You can go.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I
Just a bit louder.
pressed a lot of buttons. I did a Darren and went.
And hope for the best.
Sometimes it works, mate. Sometimes it works. No, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say,
Yeah,
this is,
exactly.
This is the classic reason to enter that little world of DIY, which, much like Eurorack, is sort of like the under Eurorack world, where if you start into it, you'll disappear and you'll never come out ever again.
Yeah. You are very quiet though, Chris, but
Oh, you are.
it sounds a lot better.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can boost the volume. How's that?
You can boost it even more if you want.
Cool. How about that?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
While I got you there, I just thought if
Yep.
you are going to get stuck into soldering, I reckon this is a good way to go. Make sure you hold your soldering iron like that.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Whoa.
Look. That's that. Who would do that? I've only done it once. Ooh. It's like, oh, it's on. Oh, pain. Oh, I'll get over it.
Yeah.
I never did it
Get
to
over it. Tap.
I never did it to a soldering iron, but I did do it to when I was a kid. I went round to one of my mates' houses, and his old man had this shed out the back where he had all these tube amplifiers all set up, and they were turned on. And I touched one of the glass tubes, thinking that I should, yeah,
Leaving your
and
skin on it.
I remember, I remember feeling burnt for quite a week or so after that. I was only about 10.
You divvy.
I think if you use soldering, that's pretty good. Yeah, if you use the soldering, you do get used to the little burns on your fingers. They're a bit like the calluses if you're a guitarist.
You
It's
do.
the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Par for the course.
Awesome.
It's
Now-
very handy when you. Sorry.
That's okay. We should get to the last product because I think you guys will probably be interested in this one. It is the System 80 810. This is a full voice with the VCO, VCF, and VCA. These guys are pretty much modelled after the Jupiter 8, if you're wondering. Okay. Stasman did a video on this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a copyright strike if I play his video, but I'll just do a tiny little snippet of this. There you go. No copyright strike.
8 seconds is fine.
So you can go check out Stasman's video. By the way, you can buy this thing. It's about $450 US, and It's a 30 HP module. It's very sexy. There's lots of photos of it.
It's black.
It's quite a nice looking thing.
Or you could get the 110 from Behringer.
You could. It's not quite the same.
All their stuff here looks good. It's a cool company.
Does look good, doesn't it? Oh, that's nice.
They make the Jove, right? It makes the Jove and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And it is made in Canada.
Backplane. That's
I
clever.
think is actually pretty. I think that's actually pretty cool. So, yeah.
Not many people put backplanes on their eurorack modules.
Yeah, Roland do it with a few of them. Not the Malaco ones, but their own. Thoughts on, I don't know, Jupiter 8 eurorack modules. I mean, they've been out for ages. These guys, System 80, have been doing it for a while. Would you want to make a eurorack polyphonic? I wouldn't even go there. Like, after my journey with the System 100, it was a bit of a train wreck, to be fair. It does sound good, but I mean, it's still sitting there. It is in my album. Yeah. Anyone want to comment on the system?
If you want a Jupiter 8 with no presets, right? So
well, it's not though, is it? Because it's a single oscillator, single filter, single amplifier. So it's a model.
So if you put a bunch of together,
well, yeah, and then you need a whole load of envelope generators and LFOs, don't you? Which aren't there. Well, so you've got them elsewhere in your rack, but I mean, it's going to sound great. I mean, the Joe filter, everybody knows that, and if it's the same sort of thing in the in this module, it's going to sound lush, really. But I do think it's a bit pricey. But then again, we're not comparing it to Behringer, are we? That's silly. But you're getting an oscillator, filter, and amplifier, which will be really good. So 150 quid per, like you said there, Ranzee, 150 quid per bit, which is not out of this world, is it? Some people might think it is, but...
Well, if I said to you, you can get a Jupiter 8 VCO for $150, I don't think people would be screwing their nose up at that.
No.
That's the way you look at it. And those synth voices are actually really handy. The only thing I think is that they probably could have made it a little bit more compact, because 30 HP is a lot of real estate in eurorack. And it's definitely, like, it's playable. There's no doubt about it. Like, that's lots of space between the knobs and things like that. They probably could have gone with like some of the switches and some of the knobs. They could have gone with the smaller ones. Some people will probably disagree with me, but I don't think it's that bad. Like, playing with the System 100 modules from Behringer and the AM synth stuff, I don't think it's that bad, having the smaller size knobs. If you're wondering what we're talking about, we are talking about
that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see it.
Shall I? I'll move the camera in. Yeah, you guys keep talking. I'll sort the camera out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyone else think that's
cool?
That's a nice one.
Went across. Tumbleweed went across the screen.
What did?
One of
those. He was quicker.
Tumbleweed.
Little sliders.
Sorry, I didn't see it. But I was just going to do that. You know, small knobs and big knobs.
Yeah.
You could have made sort of. Maybe they didn't do that because maybe they didn't want to breach copyright or something with that Behringer company. I don't know, but I don't know how that would happen either because Anyway, right. That's it. No more news. It was all Eurorack, but it's not my fault that only Eurorack guys are putting stuff out. You got to admit, good on the Eurorack people for putting products out.
Can we have a brief conversation about what do you call it? Well, your brain's gone to mush now. I was watching.
We can talk about that forever.
Well, my brain going to mush. Yeah. It completely. The Eurorack library from.
Oh yes.
Mr.
Vincent.
Mr. Vincent. Robbie Vincent. Yeah. I mean, you guys are what Eurorack. What's your thought? Do you all know about this? His idea is that, he wants people to invest in it. And what's your thoughts about it?
Well, I've contacted him and I said,
"Oh right,
yeah." I watched his video yesterday or the day before, whichever it was, and I contacted him via via Patreon, and said, look, I think it's a really good idea. There's going to be obviously a lot of trust involved for people to send modules. I mean, he did say, when you decide you're not part of it anymore, that module will be returned to you, or those modules, whichever you give, or small synth. So I thought, well, I have a couple of modules which I hardly ever use, which I think I could cheerfully, if you like, donate, and then that's me doing my bit, and then I would be able to then say, well, I actually quite fancy trying one of those out, because he's got, like he said in his video, he's got a lot of stuff which has been sent to him which he's never likely to use. Now he could, obviously the manufacturers have said they don't have to return it. He's done reviews on it. That's what he gets. So, but he's got lots of stuff that he's not using, and to use it as a lending library, well, you have to be part of his Patreon at a certain level. I think he said,
and he did say there was going to be a fee, wasn't there? There's going to be a fee.
Well, that would probably, that would probably be, a sum just to cover costs, really. So the postage to you, and a small fee. I don't think it'll be anything extravagant, but we'll have to just wait and see how it develops. But I think it's a good idea. I think it's quite a generous idea. I think it's also, again, the idea of community as well.
Definitely. I mean, let's face it. If he's been gifted these modules, I mean, he could have been kept quiet and he could have just sold them all, which I think it's a really, for people that are into modular or wanting to get into modular in a better way. I mean, like I say, you don't quite know how it's going to work. It might be a lot of work for him, and he may need help because keeping tabs on modules and things like that might be it. But I actually thought,
that was one that went through. What's the admin of it going to be? Is that going to be really burdensome for him? But I think it's one of those things. It's just going to have to be a wait and see. And well, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a generous way of dealing with lots of unwanted modules that he hasn't himself necessarily paid for, other than through his own either building them or reviewing them on his channel. So, thumbs up from me.
And shout out to Robin too, by the way.
Yep.
All right,
Robin's cool.
I actually didn't hear about that, but my only concern was that anyone who joins has to sign in blood that they know the red stripe rule. Otherwise, you fry all your modules. So.
It's only got to be UK, I think, Andy, because
that's fine.
It can't be sending. It can't be sending outside of.
I don't blame him. So.
All right, we are going to get stuck into the rest of the show, starting with. We're going to open this baby up, and what we're going to also do is we are going to put it here where static is, and there's a little black module.
Pint up?
Yeah, fill your pint up. I'm going to turn this off so you guys can see. We'll take static out.
Rant's,
Yep.
Yeah, Rant's been trying to get static out of his eurorack modules for years.
Hey, boom, boom, tish.
Actually, my music production's been a bit static.
That's better. That was better.
All right, Nurlies, people. Nurlies.
Oh, that's what those things are. All right, okay.
They look like this, Ian.
Yeah.
You can't really say
I have seen them before, but not in Eurorack.
Not in Ranzee's big fat fingers.
And as you get all of your teeth fall out, you can put your teeth in your Nurley's case. So.
Hey, well, I need to do that.
Or if people still do tobacco, you could put your tobacco in there as well.
Tobacco. The little outline in your pocket that always made people look cool, right? So.
Now I don't know how many HP this thing is, so let's get
less
this
than that.
Anyway.
I reckon it'll be about 6.
Open, people.
I don't know about you guys, but I've started measuring everything I see now in terms of HP. I think I'm ill. I think I'm getting. I think I'm ill.
There's a thicker manual here.
Which module is this, Ranzee? I didn't see the name.
This is the PP1 Perfect Pitch from Behringer. All right, we'll put those over there, and we will open. Okay. I always use their ribbon cable because then I can blame them if something goes wrong.
Ditto.
All right. I'm going to need the knife again. Shouldn't have put it away. Let's cut myself. Live on stream. Blood going everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well,
geez, they stick this thing together, don't they? Hey?
Yeah.
They don't want you to get it out.
No.
I've put the knife away 3 times now, and I've regretted it each time. I'm just going to keep it over here. Okay, here we go. There's the electronics. All the electrons are going to fall out. Quick, turn it upside down.
It's quite deep.
Upside down.
There you go.
Oh, it's red.
Of course, because it's got the XLR.
Does it fit in there?
It's now a cuckoo video.
Oh.
So.
1 HP.
Okay, I stand corrected. It is 8 HP.
I have to move the mic out the way for a sec because I need to see. Let's put it in here without breaking anything. I can't see what I'm doing. Actually, look at the camera.
Left a bit, right a bit, down a bit.
Oh, just there.
Up,
just there. That's it.
That's it. Oh.
There's nothing like that satisfaction.
Oh, I've been doing this whole bloody week. Yes, it's so frustrating. The good thing about flying bus cables is you can pull them to the surface.
Yeah, that is true.
I've left cables all plugged in, unused, so I can just fish them out.
Yeah,
that's a good.
I pull them out from the back of the module as preference.
Yeah,
I'm just worried
but
about plugging them back in.
That's because I try.
Surrounded.
Yeah, I always try to. My modules always tend to have boxed headers, so I don't have that problem.
Yeah, bloody Deptford and Tip Top that don't.
Well, the old IntelliGel too.
Yeah.
That's the one I replaced. It was unshrouded. It's like, God damn it, these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on, but the lights aren't on and nobody's home.
Ooh.
So I don't even know if it works.
There's not a lot of lights on it, so
There's lights in the middle here, but that would be level.
too surprising.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
It did make a little.
it
What was
flickered.
Yeah.
It did something.
Flickered.
Okay. So next part of this would be probably to grab that and not cut myself while I'm at it and plug the guitar in. I think would probably be the way to go. What do you guys reckon? Plug a guitar in into one of these and see what it does. And then the next part of it is to patch it somehow, right? So we do have a VCA and a VCF here next to it, so we can use that. There is a spare patch lead. Line out would probably be the sound, right? But then we want to have gate out, and we can get that gate out to trigger this envelope over here. So instead of using a keyboard gate, we can take that out, right? And CV out, we'll get it to trigger this synth module. So we can do it all in here with the guitar. Hopefully. And I have no idea if this is going to work. And I thought Eddie was going to join us tonight. But it doesn't here. That's not going to be long enough. I will go with Arturia one. Alright, so CV out would probably be, I'm guessing, that going into keyboard in, and gate out will go into gate in here. So that's the patch done. Now we need to get the guitar. While I'm doing that, because I need to go
plug a microphone into
stuff in. I could, yeah, I could, but we won't.
Andy, Summer Fruits cordial also.
Oh, there we are. There's 1 pint of Summer Fruits cordial. There we.
Oh,
Even if it's in a Green King IPA.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I'm going to use a proper guitar cord. This is a DiMarzio proper guitar cable. So any guitarist watching will probably go, "Oh, at least he's got some sort of taste in guitar cables."
The Summer Fruit thing reminds me, there was a horrible jingle on a ad here back like 10, 15 years ago. Summer Fruits, they're singing about that time of the year for fruits and in the stores, and it's just a terrible jingle. If I can dig it up, I'll put it in the chat at some point. It's kind of like that. It's like summer fruit. Yeah. It wouldn't be summer without them.
Raspberries and blackberries and every other fruit that you can name. Summer fruits.
Now I have to find
yours Robinson's though, Andy.
I'm going to need to get.
No, it's Asda's own.
You see, I only have Robinson's.
I'm going to need to plug this pickup battery in, so we've got some sound coming out of the guitar. And this is a vinyl back, so it's slipping down off my leg at the moment. A pain in the ass. Don't ever buy a vinyl back.
No.
And wear nylon tracksuit pants while you're doing it. I don't even know if this battery works. Does it go that way? Is it on? Does it work? Oh yeah, we have sound. Oh, look at that. We have sound.
Hey, look at that.
Now, next thing we need to do is get Ableton working. And what do we need to do with this module? We need gain, gate, and the input was line, right? So, guys, I can't see that. Just hang on a sec. I can't see it. Put the guitar down. High Z, do we need high Z?
Probably for a guitar, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would do
high Z on. No low cut and no bend, right?
Yeah,
and then you've got gain and gate. So let's see what happens. So that was the high Z switch there. That's the low cut switch, and that's the bend, which we don't need. And then we'll play around with the gain and gate and see if we can get this gate light here to light up. And I've just dropped my plectrum.
What are your fingers for?
Yeah.
This is on maximum output.
It's on 11. Oh, lights coming on.
Bit more gain, maybe.
It's not getting any. So more gain. There you go.
There you go.
That's better. Something went flip.
And the reason why we're not...
I can turn down the gate knob for sure.
Yeah.
The
right hand knob.
This one?
Right hand knob. Turn it down. Yeah. Yep, turn it down. It should lower the threshold. Yep. Play another note.
But it's very high pitch, isn't it?
Yes.
The synth coming through is
really high.
Yeah, extremely high pitch.
There should be a scaling setting. Isn't there scaling?
Let's just get this envelope generator to be a bit better.
Which we got with your oscillator.
Really high, so I'm going to have to turn that down. Let's try now.
Very sci-fi.
That's beautiful.
Now we can tune it, right?
It's great.
It sounds like a horror movie.
It's not picking that one up. It's not getting every note correct either.
Yeah, I reckon you could probably pump that gain a little more.
It's going to be a pain in the ass to tune this.
What, the actual guitar?
Yeah. That's close. Right, that'll be close enough.
Yeah,
and you want me to pump the gain a bit more?
A bit more, yeah.
Nah, so that's dropped it. I might go backwards.
No, that was your gate you moved.
Sorry, I meant...
Oh.
You moved the wrong one, yeah.
I'll move it back to the.
I meant the left-hand gain, because you're still not peaking your level meter.
That's better.
Sounds like a pitch shift to the guitar through a whammy pedal.
Even when I bend the note, right? Let me get me up the corner here so you can see me here, right?
Hey.
Why not play a lower pitched note, Rams?
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh.
What's hard to do on a guitar is to try and not play a whole bunch
Get
of
the low
notes
notes
at the same time. Yeah. And all the little harmonics that you're getting through the strings are coming through as well. And you guys can hear the guitar through my mic, right?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We don't, but I could bring it through here, I believe. Which one is it? This one. Is that coming through? If I turn the synth down.
Yeah, turn the synth down.
Oh yeah, it's coming through.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, we got delay.
It's a slight delay. Pump it up more.
No, I meant you've got to send to a ping pong delay there.
Correct, and it's going through a digital connection as well. So
Sweet. It's in Ableton.
that's not too bad. All right, let's get the synth back on
very,
again.
it's very low level, so yeah, it's interesting.
So it's firing off that synth. I'm actually quite impressed. I was expecting that to be a lot worse. The latency on that is definitely something that you can work with if you're playing live, because that's what a lot of people would be looking at with this. They'd be looking at what can I? Is it terrible? Like is it like pluck and then go get a cup of coffee, come back? Oh, there's the note. It's not that, right?
And don't forget, you can also do this on an MS-20. So
you can also do it on an ARP.
It's really nice.
The ARP, what's it called? What's the ARP thing that they built in the 70s?
ARPX? No.
2,600.
Well, not really on a 2,600.
You mean the Avatar?
Avatar. That's what I meant. Yeah. And the other thing too, let's go back to this overhead graphic. I don't want to spend a massive amount of time on this because it's pretty basic what it can do, right? But there are a couple of other features that we haven't covered, like the bend. I don't really know what the low cut's going to do. And we haven't tried MIDI, have we, people?
No.
No. As they say in New South Wales.
Let's
See
it on the MIDI
see what
monitor.
MIDI notes it throws out.
Yeah. I do have USB MIDI here. So we shall
It'll say,
crash the show with USB MIDI.
your perfect pitch requires a software update. Let me just download it for you.
Let's probably not do that. Let's see if perfect pitch comes out in here. Oh, there it is there. Okay, I didn't show you guys. It's POETU, perfect pitch. So that's in. Might as well just click all the boxes, and then it's out as well. So we can do MIDI in and out on this thing. All right, cool. So let's get the perfect pitch to fire. What should we fire up? A grand note from the grand.
Why not? Why not?
All right. So what I might do is mute the synth channel. We don't want the synth sound coming through, right? MIDI in, right? So technically it'll play piano notes. Did you guys hear that? The piano notes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Right. Let's see if the guitar can grab the guitar, put me in the corner so you can see that I'm doing this. Hey, hello. Grab the guitar. See if I can fire piano notes with this. Here we go.
Wow.
That is fantastic.
Ranz, while you're doing that, Ranz, can you mute your mic so we can't hear the guitar?
I can. Here we go.
Yeah, that'd be good actually. Yeah, I never thought of that, Andy. Sean Cage.
Definitely playing two notes.
It's just Sean Cage.
Definitely playing two notes there.
It's switching from one to another.
Let's change this.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, I see. It's warbling. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Henrik is asking why it's in the through port and not the input port on the PP.
What is that?
I didn't see you plug it in, but Henrik said, why is it in the through port and not the input port on the PP?
The through port? What do you mean through port?
No, that's what he said. I didn't see you plug it in, so I don't know.
I plugged it into there.
It's in the chat. Look in the chat.
Plugged to the USB. What are you talking about? Anyway.
Maybe he was talking before when you were plugging it directly into the thing.
It's asking why I plugged it. Is it the guitar? Ranzee's guitar is in the wrong input.
Yeah.
It says Ranzee's guitar is in the wrong input. Is it? So which one should it be in?
Should be in the combo jack.
Should be in the combi jack. Yeah, combi jack. Yeah. But I thought it was a line level that he was coming from his powered pickup. Yeah. So it was okay to put it in the right hand one.
Sounds wonderful. At least it's tracking better now. You're not getting those weird transients you had before the first time.
No. Yeah, it's like it was picking up a whole bunch of different pitches at the beginning of every note.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's your next album, Ranzee, right there.
I was just going to say he's got another track for his album.
Wow.
That's a chord. So I played a chord. Watch what the keyboard does. Watch this.
That's visually.
It's like the module's remembering every note and going, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's trying to serialize it. Yeah, that's funny.
That is brilliant.
You guys have a lot of fun with that.
Yes.
Oh.
Let me unplug it.
You have to
try real quick.
Learn a new playing technique.
Play the high and the low E at the same time. Just two strings. I want to see what that does.
Just unplug that.
Because it's the same note. It's just different octaves. So.
What the
hell? Must be making lots of lovely harmonics.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, you could have a lot of fun with that. Don't forget, that's just a guitar. You can plug anything that makes an audio signal into this thing, right? So that is a bit of fun. And what is it? 150 Australian, it's quite £75, £80, something like that.
Got Behringer open at the minute. I'll have a look.
Yeah. Okay, what did you guys think?
It's £98 from Torman.
Should be
and in stock between 4 to 5 weeks.
Oh,
so they haven't got it. They haven't got it in. Must have sold out.
I'm gonna unplug that. But
they haven't got the bold frequency.
Eddie mentioned he was having trouble.
I think it's got real potential.
Eddie's had trouble with his, has he?
Not a bad.
He just said
people getting it.
Yeah. He was just saying his kept on getting delayed.
Oh, okay.
You know, we'll send it soon. Oh no, hang on, there's been a delay. We'll send it again. Oh, there's been another delay.
I mean, it was pretty easy to patch.
Been fobbed off.
Like,
yeah.
Luckily for me, I already had this System 2500 sitting here, and just CV gate, bang, job done. It was really easy to patch. I need to go and play with it more. You know, find out what the bend does. There's a manual. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other crap that this thing does.
Were there any custom settings behind it that you have to tweak? Behind the panel?
I couldn't see. You can pull it back out again.
It's.
I just saw capacitors.
It's 95 quid at Anderton's, and they've got 3 in stock.
There's a lot of legal definitions in this book. The thick book, this one, has legal definitions in it. And the thin book, which is probably the one that we want to look at, this is in Chinese.
20 languages.
That's in Chinese. And this one is in Japanese. And that's all legal definitions as well.
Wow.
Okay, so it's like these, where am I? These are all different of the same thing. So let's see if we can find English. Here we go. There is some written stuff about it in here. So the controls actually
quid gear for music.
Let's see. Let's do what Behringer do. Right,
89, but not in stock.
This is a USB socket. The USB socket can be used in both an output USB MIDI derived from the audio input and for firmware updates, as well as to accept MIDI input and then convert them to CV and gate. There you go. So you've got a CV gate converter from MIDI. That's a MIDI output socket for DIN. That's what it says. The high Z switch, as we tried before, the low cut switch is a cutoff frequency below 75 Hertz. That might be actually probably handy for that acoustic guitar because I was getting some harmonics coming in from the low.
Yeah.
So I probably should have whacked that on. The bend switch, which we didn't try, has 3 positions and it tracks the input signal off 1 and 2. So 1, it will allow a pitch bend of up to 1 semitone, and 2 will allow a pitch bend of up to 2 semitones. So that's what that does. So gain we talked about, level meter we saw, gate control. It's just like an attenuator for the gate. And hints and tips. There's a bit of hints and tips in here. They're saying in the hints and tips, second point here, play cleanly and precisely.
That's your problem. That's
going to happen.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not going to happen.
Error between keyboard and chair, right? Or guitar and chair.
It's a user error on the guitar. What did the chatties say? I didn't even. Sorry, chatties. I didn't even see what you guys have been saying. What do they think? What do they think? Where are we? Okay, so everyone was screaming about me not putting in the right input. Okay, calm your farm.
Ranzee, you have to throw your guitar at the screen.
Yeah. Not going to happen. All right, shall we do the next one?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Flashing lights, yes.
Okay. This is completely non-eurorack, so I don't even know what's going to happen to me. I might just fall asleep. I might fall asleep. I don't know. It's crazy stuff.
This sure ain't Kansas, Toto.
Yeah. Let's watch Ranzee cut himself on live streaming.
Oh dear.
What's in that juice you're having?
What? What'd you say, Darren?
I was asking Andy what's in his juice.
It's summer fruits.
Rainbow juice.
Why do they make these things so bloody hard to open?
See what I did there? Oh, no. Some fell on stony ground.
Here we go. Yeah. Now, is that not going to open now because I've cut that and I haven't cut that? Yep.
Oh dear.
You don't want to use it. You just want you to buy it.
Live unboxing.
There we go.
Synth Geekery.
Yeah.
Yay. What shall we do it this way?
Oh.
This way. Oh, isn't that sexy? It's got a lovely little cover on it. Stop bloody flapping around in the breeze, you stupid thing. Alright, there it is, the module, upside down. It's got, in the box, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's got a a little manual and some software downloads and stuff, which I've already done. And a USB cable, which we don't need. And this is weird. This is kind of like, you'd think this would be styrofoam type plastic, but it's not. It's actually like, it's like shiny plastic. Yeah.
It's molded plastic.
Molded plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we care. Bye-bye, box.
Vacuum formed.
I'm not aggressive. Please find an adult or use round-nose scissors.
All right. The difference is it's got lovely little red sides on it. Oh, isn't blessed the little cotton socks with the red sides. Now the sliders are considered.
You all right, Ranz?
Yeah, what's he drinking?
I'm going to show you.
Well, he did warn us. He did warn us something might happen to his brain.
Let's turn the eurorack module off before I break something underneath here. There we go. All right, so this is the old one. Okay, this is the new one. Now the difference is these sliders. It probably doesn't show up on camera, but I'll move it in a sec. But these are tiny little sort of. They're probably only like that, whereas these actually stick right up. And if I go like that, you'll see what I mean. Right, so they stick right 3D. Up. And these are almost like flush. See that?
Oh, that's for mobile. Yeah, to carry around easily.
Yeah.
So don't snap off.
Yeah. So that may be an issue for people that like the fact that they were like that, and now they're sticking up. Okay. So that's the first thing. The size of it, size difference. So it's pretty similar. Like it's slightly wider, probably with the red things on the side, and slightly longer.
Different shape buttons.
Now I'm not going to push these buttons because I'm running the show, but these actually feel nicer than these. I feel these feel like softer. These feel stiff. All right. And they're all the same. They're all kind of like a gel, like silicon type connector. All right, so enough of this. I don't want to muck around with the show controller because that would not be a good thing. Shall we plug this in, people?
Yeah, go on. Does it have a Vegas mode?
Oh, I hope so.
A Vegas mode.
Hello. Hello, lights are on, but nobody home.
Nothing.
Hello.
Once again.
All right.
Has it got an on button that you've not pressed?
No, it'll be Ableton. I guarantee, unless I'm completely wrong here, but I reckon it will be Ableton. And if we go to here, I reckon I have to enable it. Here it is. APC Mini Mk2. Bang, bang, bang. It does MPE. Notes, control. There, that's input. And then output. Okay.
Session view, come on.
But nothing showing on there.
Well, if you just plugged in, it's probably still figuring out the driver. Are you Windows or Mac?
This is Mac.
You might have to reboot.
Shouldn't have to.
No, but
probably should have read the manual.
Did you get a pop-up on the thing about the device connected?
I'm probably like doing something really stupid, like before you plug this in, please download our driver.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
You'd think it. You think some lights.
You should at least get power lights. Going in. Something from the power.
Yeah. It's definitely plugged in because that USB I used on the PP1 before, and it showed up in Ableton anyway. So, unless we have to use their, maybe it's got some smart electronics in there. USB.
No.
I'll keep that out.
It's a chip inside. It only works with that cable. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's got a heat chip in it. Why do they make things so hard?
You'll be surprised if it does as well.
So yeah, while we're trying to open this crap and work out what the hell's going on, Who thought the PP1 was worth the purchase, and who thought, nah, not for me?
Well, it's not for me, but you know that. But
I think the funny happy accidents are good. You can get some weird stuff out of it.
I think I might try a guitar through my Behringer Model D.
Yeah,
at some point. But yeah, I really like the happy accents, the weird stuff. Record all that and stick it through.
Really weird VST synth would be cool.
Ah, control surface drop down. Okay. MPK APC Mini Mk2. There we go. Input. APC Mini
Keith
control.
liked it. He just bought one.
Yeah, just not bought one.
Keith in Watford.
There we go. It's working.
There's your answer.
There you go.
Wow.
Endorsement.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. All I had to do, sorry, I should have probably told you guys. I had to go into because you guys aren't all Ableton people. I had to go into this control surface thing here in the middle, and enable it here, right? That's why it didn't show it. And now we are getting some lights showing.
Little pretty lights
on here.
Session view.
Yeah. Make sure that track option under MIDI input is enabled, which I have. Now you can use it in Ableton Live. Okay, cool. So I need to work out what all these buttons do.
What are your connectors on that? Is it just USB, or do you have other jacks on the side or back?
Just USB.
Wow.
Oh, there's a Kensington lock slot. That's it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So click.
Does anyone ever use those Kensington slots?
No.
Yeah, people in shops do. I've seen them in
schools used to use them a long time ago. Yeah.
So across here you've got volume, pan, send, device, up, down, left, right. So what we should probably do is
split screen.
Yeah, do a split screen. So if we put that there, and then we go to there, not there. Sorry, I've got too many things in my. I've got too many things in my hands here, and I've got too many mice. Which camera is that on? It's on that camera, so that's Cam Link 1. And I go to here, click on there, click on layers, click on Cam Link 1. Now this will take up the whole screen, but that's fine. And then click edit, and then we can zoom out. And then we can pan it to the right and pan it to the up. That'll do. Why not?
Yeah.
Near enough's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough. So we've got clip, start, stop, solo, mute, blah, 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 blah. Volume. So this should... Yeah, you guys can see that, right? This is moving the volume. And this is moving the next one. Okay. And this should also... This will be like a start, stop clipping thing here. Okay. And this is the same for that. So this, if you guys don't know much about clip launching in Ableton, this button here will stop all clips playing on that track, right? And this button here will stop the entire thing. Okay. And then these will scroll left to right. So maybe what we should probably do is open up.
And up the side, it's got notes. So is that note and drum rack?
I'm thinking we'd open up an Ableton project which has got like more
something in it,
more stuff in it, more stuff. Like an older song that I done a while ago.
So that note on, does that give you like a push keyboard?
Yeah, it's got
it's
got modes in there where you can do like it's got drum grid.
Yeah, fair.
Chord modes and all sorts of stuff in it.
Step sequencer,
yeah. These kind of modes in it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. Let me just grab a track here. I can't remember what track has got heaps of clip launching stuff in it though. Let's try that one. Oh, should we save that? Yes, we'll save that just in case I need to come back to that.
So that'll save up room for a keyboard.
Here we go. Grab a project with heaps of stuff in it and it shows up. Look at that. Just like you'd expect. Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Right, let me just move this a little bit more to the right.
Hmm.
Here we go. So you can see on the right. Yeah.
So I was going to say, the colours do seem to be more graduated than the last one. More subtle.
Oh, the colours on the last one was only...
stuff?
There's only 3 colours in the Mark 1, which is yellow, red and green. Whereas this is complete RGB.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, but that's...
So this one here... So can you guys see that... Can you guys see that red triangle? Rectangle, sorry?
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
That is your control surface grid there. That's how much space it takes up. So watch, if I move this down, it should move that rectangle down.
I want to say that SEL2 is the same.
Oh, hang on, I might have to press shift.
From here, anyway.
Here we go. There you go. See how it's moving the grid down?
Yeah.
And then up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. And then you can launch clips. I've got a track playing in the background, so it probably doesn't work the way I want it to, but you could launch. Let's see if we can launch multiple stuff here. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Clip launching is pretty basic. Now, as you can see, when I've launched the clips, these are flashing, showing that they're armed, and then you can unarm them with those buttons down the bottom. See that? And this is just like basic Ableton lesson. But what makes this cool, right, is on the screen I'm in session view. Session view, right? Is that what it's called? What's it called?
Yeah, session view. And
session view, right? But I can then change this to arrangement view, but this will stay as a clip launcher.
In session view.
In session view. So that's one of the benefits of this. So now I can use this and then use the arranger without having to click. I mean, it's no big deal to click back to these screens, right? It's just literally, it's like that, right? It's not a big deal. But when you've got stuff happening, it is a big deal, and it really helps you out. So being able to control...
If you've got 2 screens, you can split them anyway. But...
You can, yeah, you can split them. But being able to control your tracks, your muting, your clip launching... For what is it? What did we say this thing was worth? 75 quid, 80 quid or something.
85.
Yeah,
85 here. 85
it is really, for those who use Ableton, this is really a no-brainer. And if the reason why I got this one is because they don't make the APC Mini Mk2 anymore, and I actually wanted a second one because obviously I'm using the first one to run my show, and I need the second one to run Ableton. And you can buy an Ableton Push, but how much are Ableton Push, guys?
They're worth about 500.
At least 1,000.
Yeah. The new one's about 1,800 quid.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yeah.
The standalone one.
I want to go back to the other... I mean, that clip launching, we saw it. Great, fantastic. I want to go back to the other one that I had before, which was just a blank project. And I want to set up a drum track, because I actually want to check out this new drum track feature that's in this thing, right? So you guys quickly happy with me to do that. So we just, we go into drums, we can click. I'll just do an 808 core kit, right? Or should we do 909? Which one?
909.
909?
Oh, yeah, it's got a 909.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the 909. And then I click on that. I've got all my drums down here, okay? Now, there is a mode on here, I need to find it, where I can actually...
drum mode on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so that one there. No, I need to go shift, there. Okay, now we're in drum mode.
Oh yes, there we go.
So and that'll be a 16 by 16, 4x4 pad. Yep. New triggers.
And say, okay, I don't want a 909 because it sounds like friggin' every single drum kit I've ever had. Let's go with the some other weird one.
Simmons.
By the way, I'm playing this on top of my eurorack modules, so I'm being very gentle. I'm not like slamming them. Anyway, so there's the drum track thing, which I thought was pretty cool. And then you use this.
Ranzee plays on his eurorack.
This side is the
step.
Yep, step sequencer.
Step sequencer. Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
I think that. I don't know how this works. I think you have to record actually.
You have to choose your note. You think if you chose a.
I like how on Ableton though, when you click it, right, it brings up the sample down the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you can mangle around.
Yeah, it's always been.
Yeah,
that's always been a nice feature.
Those buttons, I don't think they're velocity sensitive.
Okay.
I think it's just trigger. But this thing is not really meant to be a performing thing. This is kind of like a quick and dirty type jobber. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that mode. Then there's the note one, which is this one. So we can go to the hybrid track, right? And we can go shift note. And now we're in the note mode. Let's bring up the hybrid so we can see it, but not over the top of it. We'll just bring it over here. So let's pick a... Okay, we need to enable that track. So down the bottom, you click that to enable that track. So it's just like playing a push.
Or Akai Force.
Oh, it's
yeah.
It's Armand Van Ranzee.
It's Armand Van Trashy. Yep. So note mode. There's a record arm as well here if you want to record stuff. So if you shift record arm, it'll send Ableton into record arm mode. Or do I just press it? No, that one. Oh yeah, and it is saying it's armed. Okay, cool. And then how do you undo it? Stop. Clip. There you go. Clip stop. Yeah. And then solo and mute. So that's all that. So pretty cool. and then it's got a device browser thing too, which I don't even know how to use this yet. So it's something about device browsing, which I think is to do with the Ableton devices. Okay. And there's fader controls, as I mentioned before, but you can control. I think the fader control is for the device. Yeah, I get it right. So if you had a automation enabled on that track, you can then use that fader. So if I go there, that fader is for the device. That fader is now for the volume. That fader is now for the pan. So I'll show you the pan. You guys can see the pan moving left to right there.
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be nice if there was like a little click in the middle here, so you could get it in the middle, but there's not. Anyway, and then you've got send and
80 quid for controller, so it's not bad.
There's your sends. How do we scroll through the sends? That's something I probably need to find out, but that's handy because sometimes you want to back your send off, for your effects. So that's cool. Questions from chatties?
Are all those bottom buttons momentary? Are they latching or combo? Do you have combos for that?
I do not know. But I'm sure there's a million things this thing can do. The manual is only about... where does it start? Where does it start going to Spanish? It goes to Spanish on page 17, 18, somewhere around there. So you're looking at like 16 pages of not very much information on this little jobber here. All right, but then there would be a download which would go into a lot more detail that this does. But I just thought just quickly show you unboxing, quick plug-in, because we don't have hours to do on the show. It's not a review, people, so don't expect it to be a review. But yeah, I just thought it. They're really squishy. The pads, they're really squishy. So you don't. It might. Some people might not like that, but you don't have to touch them very hard. It's kind of very feathery, which is kind of nice because you might just want to. From that point of view, like if you're playing it right, you may want to just sort of drag your finger across, like. I can't do it because it's not sitting properly, but you may want to.
Glissando, you mean?
And that doesn't hurt your finger at all. So that part of it is actually pretty cool. I mean, yeah, velocity, sensitivity, all those sort of features, aftertouch, all those sort of things that you guys would want on some sort of MIDI controller. This isn't for that. You get a push.
But it has got MPE capability, hasn't it?
So, it does have MPE, but I don't know what it's got. I actually tried to find out. Yeah. But yeah.
The bigger model that comes with knobs is slightly bigger. Does that one actually have more functionality, like
the the APC 4? Is it the APC 40 or something?
I think so.
Yeah, it's been around for a while, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, the control center, that isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's got. I did look at it once, and I thought it was like $200 cheaper than a push. So I thought, well, you just buy a push because it's got much more features on it. So yeah, but this thing is light as anything, right? Really, really, really light. Like it's, you know, chucking.
Is that shiny red at the side? Because that
it is shiny, yeah, kinda.
Right.
So there's a bit of shine.
Red.
There's a bit of shine and there's a bit of flat.
Shiny.
Do you see?
It's a red PVC there, by the look of it.
Yeah. I like the red. It's kind of the Akai thing. The Akai. All right. For as we said before, for only a few bucks, it's a pretty no-brainer. Now,
for what it costs, it's brilliant.
The big deal about these things is, I mean, I just showed it using it with Ableton, which is what it's been manufactured for. But so many people buy these APC Minis and they don't use them for Ableton. They use them for, like me, for vMix as a video mixing MIDI controller, or they use them for a whole bunch of other things because they're actually really, really good at that. And the pads, the grid of pads, that many pads, what is that, 64 or whatever it is? That's a lot of pads, right? And then you've got the sliders and you've got these buttons. They're all MIDI note sourceable. So that's very, very easy to map that stuff. You could use this with an Akai MPC Live or an Akai Force even, because now they've got the Akai MPC, have got the MIDI Learn features in their firmware. They've had that now for a few years now, which is really, really cool. So that would actually complement an MPC, because the same deal with MPCs, you've got one screen on an MPC, right? And you've got one row, 4x16 pads on an MPC. You may want the pads on the MPC to be doing one thing and that APC MIDI controller to doing something else. And I think one of my videos that I did a while back, I did use the APC Mini, the original, the Mark 1, and I mapped it, and using the sliders to adjust the volume of tracks and things like that in a performance. And so you could have tracks just playing in the background and just pull the sliders down so they disappear and then fade them in your performance. So that sitting next to an MPC is actually very, very similar in width. My Akai MPC Live is exactly the same width as this. Not width, sorry. I'll show you. Let me get the camera around.
Height, depth, which are the like?
Yeah, depth. Depth is probably the right word, Darren. See, Darren's smarter than me. He likes to tell me that too.
I won't go that far. Look, all these could be part of my rig, you see, for the live set.
Yeah.
I want to go right. Go right, and then go right more. I need to take this dust cover off my MPC. My MPC's turned off at the moment, guys. And I've got cables all over it, that's why, because I have a dust cover over it, which is this thing. A depth saver, as people know them as. And if I put that there, yeah, and then I change the camera to that, there you go. So, it's literally the same. You see that? It'll sit beautifully next to it. The only thing is it'll sit down like it because it's not as high. Right? So you might have to put a book underneath it or something. But that's fantastic. That's the same, exactly the same depth. Is it depth? Is that the word I want? Depth. From front to back is depth.
Yeah. Height. That'll be height.
Height.
Not depth.
Yeah.
Not the width.
Height.
Getting hung up on terminology.
By the way, can you plug that directly into
the right size?
the MPC live?
Yes, it's class compliant. Yeah. So, what it won't do though is you know how all the grid lights come up and stuff like that. It won't show any lights.
Right.
So you can't activate any of the lights unless Akai release some sort of extra bit of software in their MPCs, which I'd love them if they did. In vMix, by the way, the reason why this thing lights up is because vMix actually has an activator script in it. So I can... there's two sections. There's the shortcuts, which is the MIDI control buttons, learn that note, goes to that function. And there's the second part, which is called an activator, which basically turns the lights on and off. So you're muted. Andy, muted.
Yeah, because there's noise on this end, so...
That's right. What did you say? You said something. I saw your lips moving.
Oh, no, I was talking off camera, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but won't it light up if you had it in key mode, so you could play a synth on your MPC?
I don't think so. I mean, it might. Don't forget, I haven't tried the Mark II yet, but the Mark I didn't. Mark I was just like dead lights. There were no lights on it. It was still usable in that sense, and I thought the Novation launchers were kind of similar in that sense as well. Like there were things that you couldn't activate.
No, the launch pad will light up. Well,
it lights up.
Mark III will anyway.
Yeah. The Mark 1 will.
I just thought the MPC Mark II. All right, so that's why I was wondering whether the Akai did then.
I got one of these little jobbers.
Somewhere.
The mini.
Yeah, is that Mark 1? I think
that is a Mark. That is a Mark 1. Yeah. And it's hard to get. It's hard to get information about these now.
Yeah.
Because
I got one of those used. It's not as fun as the new one is.
Because you've got to remember what button combinations that do things, and there's like unless you
it originally came with stickers, didn't it? That you could put on, but I never bothered putting stickers on mine.
I didn't like the stickers because it sort of hung out from the back, and it kind of flapped around.
I used to write down. I used to do little grids of
So that's what I used to use
because the LEDs were a little bit dimmer.
Yeah, well, people didn't like how bright they were. Yeah, and I think the third you can actually adjust it, right?
Yeah,
I think they're adjustable in the third one. Yeah. So product stuff, fun. I thought out of the two, I don't know, both of them I need for various reasons, but I thought I'm probably going to have more fun with the PP1 because I just thought it was kind of quirky, right? With with the response and those sort of things.
It was funny.
It was quirky.
It was certainly funnier.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the smile on your face betrayed how you felt about the experience.
So they were just going funny again, Chris.
Yeah, you're going funny again, mate.
Okay.
You put the glitch machine back on.
What about now?
No.
How's that?
No.
He's doing Kent's Dalek impersonation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's StreamYard. Sigh. So I do have some more stuff coming in soon. So I'm more than happy if you guys like me doing this because it's interesting, I guess. to some people, and some other people probably think it's a yawn. But there is a really interesting module coming in. I thought that PP1 was an interesting module, but there is another very interesting module coming in soon, which is from AM Synths, and I think Brooksy might know what it is, that I've ordered. So that's a pretty big giveaway. Whoa. It complements something that I've already got here. So there's the hint. So that's coming in. So and then there's I've got some witty Bluetooth stuff coming in. So I want to muck around with that, and that way we can get Robbie on the show so he can take a drink.
I'd like to know more about witty.
Yeah. So what I want to do with witty, right, is these things. A lot of these things. Witty. These have got USB up the top, right? Where is it? Is it gone? Is it upside down? Yeah, sorry, it was upside down. It's got USB up the top here next to each other, and I thought that would be perfect for a witty. Yeah. And then I don't have to like patch that in somewhere. So I've ordered the.
Well, here's a question talking about MIDI, witty, iddy, because we've got TRS. Because is there any splitter box, a MIDI TRS splitter box?
Yes.
Little tiny ones.
Yeah.
And all like you get your MIDI splitter, because I haven't seen
Retro Kits make one. I made one in one of my videos at home. Homemade one. They're passive. You don't need to actually do any electronics as such.
Yeah.
I can actually show you. Where did I put it? No, it's not
every box that you find these days at the moment.
It's not here, but what I'll do is I'll show you.
There's those Belkin headphone splitter things too, for one. So
you can. Darren? Do you mean TRS to DIN though? Is that what you mean?
No, not TRS. No, because if you have a TRS to DIN, you're always having the dongles, aren't you? To get if you've got two TRS MIDI ins, you'd rather have not a dongle. If you follow.
So Retro Kits is what you're looking for, right? Retro. I don't know if they're still around. Are they still around? Retro Kits
should be.
Don't know.
Yeah, he's still.
They make some really nice cables too, the smart cables and stuff.
Yeah, I had him on the show a few years back. So we need to take that thing off, don't we? Hang on a sec. Turn off that. Cool, done.
That sequencer looks like a calculator is really cool.
Yeah. He hasn't actually added many products for a while, actually. Yeah. I've got the this one, the RK006. That will do what you want to do, Darren, because it's got some brains inside it. I've also got this one, the RK002, the DIN cable, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they do as well.
Yeah, they make bus converters and all kinds of stuff.
So, yeah.
USB hosts.
So yeah, shout out to Retro Kits. They're pretty cool.
The one thing about witty is it doesn't work in every synth. The DIN 5 sometimes doesn't provide enough power in some older synths. So your mileage may vary. You have to try them out.
Wasn't there some issue between Windows and Mac?
I
mean, Robbie's probably going to answer that.
Yeah, there should be now.
There would have been something back in the day when it first launched.
But like the ESQ,
I know Robbie swears by it.
Have juice for the witty. So
I did this, Darren. This is just for you, probably a bit more self-indulgent for me to show. But I made this years ago. This is a little box that you can buy from an electronics store. I drilled holes, and I made a TRS to DIN converter, right? And I put a switch on it so that you could switch from type A to type B. Oh. And then the video goes into actually how to make it.
How to wire it.
Yep. Using Dremels, all sorts of stuff. And then at the end, I connected up to... What did I connect it up to? A bunch of stuff.
Hey, Ranzee, you're very clever.
Anyway, so... The cool thing about this, right, is it means that you don't need any types of special MIDI cables. You can use standard MIDI cables and standard, stereo 3.5 millimeter cables. And
the nice thing is certain devices Not enough to not care whether it's A or B.
Yeah, and I made like there was like a three-part series to this. Like I made like an original prototype, which was kind of how this all started. And I decided that I didn't like the prototype. I didn't like it. It was kind of I mean, I got pretty nerdy with this. We were talking about, you know, what happens with TRS and then how do you know, the problem with it. So that first video goes into my thoughts about, this is quite old, so just remember like when the TRS A and B issue was very new, like people were getting Arturia and Novation.
What did they settle on? Have they settled on TRS-A?
I think so. I think so. But they're still, I think Korg is still doing TRS Type B, aren't they? So so this is kind of where
it's still an issue. It's still an issue.
This is where you start getting a bit nerdy, where I'm talking about like wiring up what pin goes to what. So in the end, I ended up just developing like a crossover switch down the bottom, where you literally, all it does is it's a dual pole, dual throw switch. Yep. And it will if you look at it, it will have like one common pin and the other will swap over. It's like an X formation. So when you switch it from one side to another, it literally just swaps the two that are different. So if you look at the diagram above, TRS Type A goes from pin 1 to pin 5, pin 2 to pin 4, and pin 3 to pin 2. So it only uses 3 pins, right? And then TRS Type B, the common thing there is the bottom one, pin 3 to pin 2, but the other two swap. So all you have to do is make a switch that swap the other two over, and you're good to go. And it was a really simple solution. It was just if
you guys want to get super nerdy, this is a cool website I found about 10 years ago. This Pinouts website, all pinouts for everything.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Wow. Put it in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that's really handy actually too, because if you've like got some sort of balanced audio and unbalanced audio, it's got everything.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff.
That stuff in there. And if you want to rewire or resolder or something like that, you can work out what's going on. So yeah, it's pretty handy.
It's just quite surprising, isn't it? Because they were all on about going to TRS MIDI, all synth, or a lot of synths, and yet it's sort of like just become. But you know, you don't see as much. You're still finding a lot of the old 5-DIN stuff, which is fine because I like the 5-DIN better, but. They're all banging on about we're going to go to TRS because it saves a lot of room and it's great, but they didn't really make much for it when they do it.
Yeah, and what kind of is annoying is that, like Chris was saying before with that eurorack module, like if you wanted to have a system that automatically detected whether it was Type A or Type B coming in as a TRS, it can only do that digitally. It can't do that electrically, because MIDI is digital, right? So it has to go through some sort of software controller, which will be reading the data that's coming in on those pins, and it translates and goes, that's actually this, so therefore I need to switch it over to Type A or Type B, depending on what it's getting. And that eurorack module would be doing that, I reckon. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's kind of like there's a hardware part of MIDI, and it's really like if you start getting nerdy, like when you're building eurorack modules like what Behringer have built, one of the things you'll work out is that they have very low voltages across MIDI. And you can't, the moment that you've got any sort of voltage near it, you can end up getting RF interference with MIDI, and all these sort of other sort of interesting things that happen. So yeah, it's quite a cool thing to muck around with if you're sort of nerdy and you like playing with DIY projects. Darren, you could do that. You could make yourself a little TRS converter thing, switcher, or
make
splitter.
a small purple box to make that guy happy.
Just don't grab the soldering iron.
It's got purple cheese. Have you seen Wagyu's with purple? Well, we don't know that it's purple yet. We haven't worked it out.
He's got purple cheese. Jeez, I don't know if
we don't know that it's purple
because you know what colour mould is, don't you, on cheese?
Oh, we have wine-soaked goat cheese out here. It's purple. It's kind of funny.
We like we're probably a little bit boring, but we like brie and camembert, right? And when we go away, we go down south, and Chris will know this. There's a place down south called Margaret River, which has a very famous cheese factory down there, and we always go there and buy cheese from it. It's just the thing that you do. And next door to it is about 50 wineries. So it goes well. And they do have that purple slash
Parma violet cheese.
Yeah. I guarantee you there's definitely a violet coloured cheese down there, but it's not called Parma Violet. It's called something else. It's like Blue Vein, or what do they call it, Chris? It's like...
It's not Stilton. It's...
what was it called? It like heaps of people, like they swear by it, but I just don't... I can't get my head around the fact that they're just eating mould.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you're eating bacteria and fungus every time you have cheese, so it's good stuff. You know?
Good point.
Cheese is mold.
Wouldn't have it without it.
Yeah.
It's not all about putrefaction.
But it does have good. What do they call it? They have good sort of
probiotic.
Probiotics.
Probiotics.
Yeah.
So
that's why kombucha is good. It's good
as long as you don't have too much of it. It's like anything, right? Yes. Now we're talking about cheese, and Chad are talking about purple broccoli.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've had that. I've had purple broccoli.
Purple broccoli.
I've had what was
that
it?
one? Looks like fractals.
Purple carrots. Was it purple carrots? Yeah, purple carrots. I've had. They were interesting.
You get the fractal broccoli. That's really cool.
I saw that Steve Elvis comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve. Steve, I'm going to mention this again, so don't worry if you forget. But your eurorack module that you gave me, the Orion WMD, has featured heavily in my new album. So you'll be happy to know that it's been put to very, very good use. Yes. One of the things that it does, because it's analog, right? One of the things it does really, really well is it does a small stone phaser. Like it's almost perfect. Like it's probably not the 1976 one. It's probably more like the 1980s one, but it does a really, really good job of it. We go the one you would pretty much know which module I'm getting. Answering your question, it's the one that complements something that I've already got. That's all I'm going to say. You guys will pretty much work it out just from that. It's like it's pretty obvious.
He's become the Riddler all of a sudden.
Put it this way: AIM-Synths make a module. AIM-Synths make a module that Behringer don't, right? And if you get the Behringer stuff, and you want to do something with this Behringer stuff that this particular module can't do without it, you'll definitely go and buy this AIM-Synth module. So
System 100 ones, right? Okay.
No, it's not System 100. Wagoo's giving it away already. All right, I'll tell you. It's the pitch keyboard controller for the resonant filter for the 2500 modules. I'll show you it.
Was that the right?
AM1047K. That.
Aha.
So you grab the I don't know where it is. It's over there somewhere. You grab the 1047 resonant filter, and this adds the keyboard percussion features to it, which turns that module into a very, very useful little pair of cool things.
Does it have Vactrals in it?
Don't think so. Don't think so. Don't remember reading anything about Vactrals in it. So what it says here is how it works is the 1047 will not resonate without an input signal. So a trigger signal created from a gate signal is conditioned, and then it's sent into audio input of the filter to create a sort of blip sound. The pitch signal from the keyboard modifies the frequency cutoff of the filter so that different tones will be sound at different frequencies. And then the frequency knob on the 1047 can be adjusted to taste. So, yeah. So how they do it is they generate a tone by the gate being on and dividing it by the Q, the final Q.
So it's like that trick you can use on the Juno 6 and Juno 6 to use it for the trigger in.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it makes like it's kind of like you get another oscillator, right? And then you've got a filter that turns into an oscillator. You guys know that, you know, trackable filters, right? But then it turns it into a percussion module, which is really, really cool. So you've got this kind of filtery sounding percussion module. And you guys might remember that the 1047 is really resonant, that filter. It's like one of the most resonant filters I've ever heard. So it becomes a pretty cool thing. Anyway, it's on its way. So I'll show you guys that. And obviously we'll just plumb it in here in the nifty case. This nifty case. You still got your nifty case, Darren?
I certainly have, yeah.
Such a cool little thing, eh? These things, for what they were.
Yeah, even though there's been a few companies now that have come out with things very similar to them, it's still decent.
Definitely still decent. Yeah, so never like these sort of purchases were never like bad purchases, because one of the things I do with my nifty case is I'll just go to me. So at the moment I've got my Pro 800 here, right, next to me. Okay. But normally my nifty case will sit here. But then when I'm doing a show for you guys, right, I can put the nifty case in front of me on my desk, and you know, I can just pop a few modules in it, whatever we're going to use, and there it is there for you guys to use. So it's kind of like a little, you know, semi toolkit type setup that I've got. Yeah, nice. Please, can you announce that
effects box out of it, a synth out of it, or something like that?
Oh, Mac wants me to tell everyone that he is now known as Macrodose, his artist name.
Cool.
Macrodosed. That's cool. Awesome. Cool. I like it. It's quite a cool name. Yeah. I actually didn't realize it was Stephen. So there you go. Ooh, there was a lag on that button. I think we finished. Was there anything? Oh no, we haven't. We have not finished. We got to quickly do this.
There's more. Oh, there's more.
I can't forget this because I actually spent time putting this together. And there are live options to have a look at too. Starting with this one, the Nonlinear Lab C15 synthesizer, Native Instruments. I don't really know much about this, unless I've forgotten.
It costs about that new, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's weird. That's they're about $4,000, $5,000.
So there is a live auction here. So what is it? It's like a wooden thing, is it?
It's an FM synth. It's a multi-operator FM synth, but it's really expressive.
Manny's been doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, does physical modeling stuff and all that. It's really cool.
I saw this and I thought that looks absolutely insane, but I don't remember it being wooden. Is it? So that it's always been wooden.
Beautiful wood.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny they put Native Instruments in the title because it's made by the guy who came from Native Instruments, but it's not a Native Instruments.
But it's not his. Yeah.
No, it's not. Native Labs.
But yeah, it's like a sort of pilot control pit sort of thing.
It launched in NAMM 2020. It's really cool stuff.
Anyway, Nonlinear Labs, $4,200 US for that one.
Nonlinear Labs.
The next one is, I thought that was interesting, was the EML 101. Now this is actually live as well, so you guys are probably interested in this.
Well, they're pretty rare, so that's not necessarily a stupid price.
Pretty good price, yeah, $28.50. So yeah, we can have a look at these. That's not a bad looking bit of kit, just quietly. Upside down, Miss Jane.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all she wrote there. Nothing that special, I guess, but yeah, I thought that was cool. It's a mono synth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I
think it's got 3 or 4 oscillators or something. I'm pretty sure it's got 4 oscillators. Actually, I know how to find out. We'll just go back to here. It'll show us. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. There's your answer. Good memory. So I wonder if you could paraphonic that thing. Anyway, next. The Sequential Prophet 5 Rev 3. Now this is a Rev 3, and they want £8,000 for this. That's ridiculous. That's starting to get ridiculous. This is on Reverb. This is in Italy though, so I don't know.
Lots of organs in the background.
Yeah. I have a feeling this guy has sold some stuff when we've shown it before. That looks like a Juno or something in the back there. Or it might be a JX.
There's a Juno in the back. There's a Poly 61.
I mean, it's in reasonable nick.
And it's sat on a Leslie cabinet.
He's missing the stickers on the bottom of his, and the paint's peeled off. Yeah. So it's not that great. There you go. Look at those connectors on the back. Aren't they lovely?
What are they for?
So the he doesn't actually say what mods this thing's got on the listing, so it'd be nice if he said that. Oh, you guys will like this next one.
Why would you?
Oh,
what?
God.
What?
Here we go again.
Okay, so the interesting thing about this one is this.
As bad as
let's show you the live listing. It actually comes with the R303 CPU. So you've got a fully, I guess, working TB303.
16-note polyphonic.
Yeah.
Sorry, being silly.
So they've installed the RE303, sorry. They've installed it. But $4,000, which is £2,000, is actually not too shabby for a TB303. It's almost like they've come back a little bit in price, maybe. I thought they were going higher than that. Remember, there's a limited amount of these in the world.
Yep.
I don't know what the number is, but I think it's you know.
Yeah, I know somebody has 4 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, that was Price Watch. We haven't done Price Watch for a while.
No, he's an old acid musician.
All right.
It's, Mike Dredd.
Oh, okay.
For the Apex Twin.
The Devilfish guy, Australian guy's got a few of them too. I forget how many he said he had. The guy that did the Devilfish mod. Why would anyone want
such a shitty box with so much money?
Yeah.
Well, it's a one-trick pony, isn't it, really?
It's funny, they didn't have the silver worn off the knobs, though, so it wasn't heavily used.
Well, that's some decent nick.
The funny thing about 303, right, is it's kind of like, see, like Native VS has said that, but I reckon it's kind of like people saying the same thing about us who have got modular synths. Why would anyone want to waste all their money on all those modules and
I'm not saying
just a rabbit hole?
I'm not saying anything.
Are you mad? Like, what are you doing? You just keep buying crap. It's like George on your shoulder.
Lovely.
And there's guys that have built Eurorack modular gear just to make it sound like a TB303.
Yeah.
And they've probably spent like thousands of dollars doing it. I remember like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I saw this guy did this video and he's like, look, I've made a Eurorack, you know, setup with this module is the oscillators, this module is the filters, this module is the sequencer. And he literally, like, some of it was custom made, and I thought, geez, he's spent a lot of time and energy, and it sounded pretty close. But all he had to do was just, you know, wait a couple of years and got the Behringer.
Yeah. Like $100. Yeah.
Poor guy. You could get the purple one, hey, Darren, like mine. I know Dave's tried to break in down here. He's caught a plane. He's tried to break in. He was unlucky. The cops picked him up. They sent him back.
Well, you know what he's like.
That was the cheapest one, the purple one.
Is it? I don't understand why. I think it's the best one.
I got the yellow one. I got the yellow one really cheap. I think £65. I think I paid for my yellow.
I thought the silver were the cheapest ones. I thought.
No, Sweetwater for a while had a bunch of the color.
No, they keep changing.
Yeah.
The yellow one was going to be a limited edition, but went on forever.
Yeah.
Then they've changed the prices. They keep floating up and down. I think I've got a yellow one.
Now this is
mine's either yellow or red. I boxed it up, so I can't remember.
This is a good question for Ian without notice because
I'll have to check on the colour.
Oh, here we go. Sure. Here we go.
Now, Ian, right?
This
is not to do with Eurorack, so don't worry. Do not worry. Yeah, you're out. You're off the hook. This is to do with what you actually do for a living, chum. So,
okay.
I've got a question for you. So, let's say I wanted to go to the next step with my album. I mean, in the past, I've just released them myself through whatever distributor that I've used, right?
Yeah.
But let's say I wanted to, and I'm doing this because I want people to know what you do, and maybe it might generate some business for you as well, because we love having you on the show and everything. So let's say I wanted to get you to listen to the tracks to sort of give me some feedback on whether the mix was good, whether the mastering's good, all that sort of stuff. What sort of stuff do you do at your end? Like, is it mixing, mastering, release, distribution? What sort of stuff do you do your end?
I can do all of that. I mean, if we take Andy and Grace's album, they mixed it, they mastered it. Grace mastered it, didn't she, Andy? And then I just released it.
Yep.
Although I did actually, I sequenced it, didn't I? So I had all the tracks and spent some time deciding. We did it together, but fundamentally, I came up with the way that the album tracks should work together. So I mean, for Dave Walker's album, I didn't mix it; he mixed it. I mastered it. So I can do any of that sort of stuff. You know, what's needed to get it out there, really. What we haven't done with Andy and Grace's album is we've released it on Bandcamp, but we haven't done the streaming section yet. Now, before I do that, and I've had to put it back because obviously I've got quite a lot going on with other crap at the moment, nothing to do with music. So the beginning when I've stopped doing Edinburgh and looking for houses, which will be the beginning of September, I will then start to send out emails to. I have a list of possible promotion people I could send it to, and I wouldn't send everything to everybody, and that list keeps growing. Now the reality is that I sent out 50 emails for Dave's album, and we got one review. And that's the world we're in now as far as music's concerned. I had quite a few people came back to me and said, "Oh yeah, we'd like to review this album, but you're going to have to pay us." Well, that's not going to work, you know. So I take those people off my list of people to potentially send stuff out to, you know. And I'm sort of building up a relationship with those people as well. I mean. The review that Dave got, you know, I know the guy, luckily, you know, but he was the only one that did a really, really good review on Dave's album. You know, I'm hoping he's going to do the same when we get to it, to do Andy and Grace's album. And I will target that about a month, 6 weeks before the actual streaming release, really. And the people that have bought the Bandcamp version, they have got extra tracks which will not be on the streaming version.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, you know, the people that bought it early have got extra stuff, and I quite like to do that sort of thing. So, I mean, you know, I'm a one-man band. There's no money. There's no budget for any sort of marketing or any of that sort of thing. But, you know, and the people that I'm getting involved with and doing this sort of thing with, they know that. I mean, they know that I'm not, I'm not Sony Music. Having said that, though, our distribution is through Orchard, which is one of the bigger streaming distributors out there, and we should get a slightly better revenue rate, although we have no control over that.
They're owned by Sony, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are, but that's not who my relationship is actually with a Danish company.
Yeah,
but the Danish company give me access to everything to do with Orchard. So when I put it up, I actually do it through Orchard via my. I'm a shareholder in this company. That's the way that it works. It's sort of a complicated relationship, but so I mean, we're yet to see how good the revenue rates will be, but they won't be that much better because we're dealing with people like Spotify and that really where the revenue rates are pathetic, So I can do all of that sort of stuff with people. I only really want to do it with people I like. So everybody I know everybody that I'm working with. But I think I have to say that is important. I mean, I've probably told this story before. I was putting out an album for a band who were local to me. They don't live in Pocklington, but they're in East Yorkshire. And the band were great, and I spent quite a lot of time with them. I managed to get we were recording it, not I was recording it with them, but at a studio out in Hull. And the relationship with the singer, not the rest of the band, started to deteriorate, and trust was lost. And when we came to put the album out, he still wanted me to put the album out. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that because our relationship has deteriorated, and I can't see us working together really for forever to some extent, because I'm always going to be collecting revenue for them while the album's out there. And I don't want those sort of relationships. I don't want to be dealing with people that have got egos the size of a planet. I like dealing with nice people, as everybody I work with is nice people. So, I'm quite happy to work with people that I've met, that I've listened to, that I've liked their music, So that's the way that I tend to work, really. And it is a relationship. I mean, I'm happy to send anybody. I have a document which I've sent out. Andy and Grace got it, didn't you? Did I send it to you when we first started?
Yeah, we did.
So I'm happy to send that. I'm happy to send that to you, Ranzee, if you want.
Here.
Yeah. We don't do written contracts. So the relationship is that I will collect revenue. I take 20% of that revenue. I think it is plus VAT because we're a VAT limited company. But actually, you can walk away at any time. So if the next Andy and Grace album, they want to go and sign to Sony or CBS, hopefully, because I'd like to see you do a bit better than,
That'd be nice.
That's great. That'd be great, So I'm quite, there is, we're working on a particular project, which will be an album. Then, if you don't want to come back and do it with me again, we're not going to fall out about it. That's cool. Really, we're just, I mean, and I'm not, I'd like Sinners Music Records to break even, but I'm not really looking to make loads of money out of it. So the joke is I am the evil record executive, but we know that that's not true. So yeah, me boat's already ordered. It's in Bahamas. So yeah, I mean that's the situation we're in, really. So I'm happy to work with anybody. Sorry, say that again.
There when you live in Pocklington. It's not good being over there when you live in Pocklington.
Why do you think I'm moving down south?
It's a little bit nearer. You can get a boat from Southampton.
Good, couldn't I? Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, so but that's the way the situation is. So I'm happy to work with anybody. So if you want to have the conversation about me putting your album out, I'm quite happy to send you the stuff, and we'll, and I can do whatever you want me to do, really. So I have a fixed fee for things like mixing and. Sorry, I can make the tea
as well. Then. All right, cool.
I do make the tea. Yeah.
When you said you didn't, when you said you did sequencing, what do you mean by sequencing?
Well, they sent me all the tracks, and then I put them into certain orders, and I lived with it for a good couple of weeks.
So you worked out what order you wanted them to be in.
Yeah, and then I got the okay from Andy and Grace.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I would never put something out
because that's an interesting thing. Because I'm actually at that situation now where I have what I think should be the order, right? I'm sure Andy and Grace were probably in the same spot. That they probably had an idea of what they thought the order may have gone out is. And I have these sort of theories. Like one of the things that I kind of like to do is I like to break rules with people with their, you know, especially with music, how there seems to be all these kind of pigeonholey rules that seems to happen in the industry. Like you should always put your best track first, or you should always.
It's even to the first 7-8 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
On a Spotify playlist and all that.
And
I don't do all that sort of stuff.
I'm thinking like in this album, I know what I think my best track is, but it may not be what you think my best track is, right?
Ian's put the most difficult one first.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, I would much rather people discover it later in the album. And that doesn't worry me if they don't. Bad luck for them.
Didn't we swap 2 tracks? Because it was pretty much my list, apart from a couple of tracks where you guys wanted it the other way around or something like that. I mean, there wasn't very much that got changed.
I can't remember.
And I know that Grace said that that's not how they would you guys would have necessarily chosen to do it, you know. But it's a joint decision to some extent. I'm another pair of ears, you know.
Well, this is the thing. Like I have this kind of there is no rhyme or reason to why I wanted it to be in a certain order that I've put it in, but I kind of felt like one of the reasons was that I wanted people to discover the tracks deeper in the album, as opposed to them all being all the good ones up the front, and then it slowly gets shitter.
Because then it's just a downward progression. Oh, I heard the best one already. What the hell?
So I want people to sort of go. I wanted them to go happy, and then maybe not so happy, and then oh wow, that's amazing, and then, you know, I want it to be kind of a bit of a discovery journey for them.
Yeah, I've been doing the same on my own album because I keep coming back to it because I like to put time in between when I don't listen to it. So I had listened to it last week. I won't listen to it probably again until I come back from Edinburgh now. I'm pretty much sorted on the sequence that I'm happy with, but I for a long time there were tracks in there that I kept trying to move them around to get them to fit, and in the end they didn't fit, so they're not going to go on the album. You know, there's 2 tracks that have been dropped. Well, they'll probably be, you know.
That's the next thing I've got to check out is to how many minutes it is in total. It fits, because I've got to I think I mentioned it last week. I've got to the point where I've got some extra tracks up my sleeve, whether I should include them or not. I'm definitely going to be including them on Bandcamp. There's no doubt about that. So they'll be up there, but whether they actually get put on the final, because I will be cutting a CD as I usually do.
Right. So you're limited to 74 minutes or 80 minutes.
Yeah, whatever it is, depending on the CD people that you use.
I mean, that's one thing I don't tend to get involved with that much. I don't tend to get involved with doing physical releases
media
anymore.
I just do it through Bandcamp. It's really easy.
Yeah.
So you just do it through Bandcamp.
I recently found a website who will make low runs of vinyl, which I'm not interested in putting my stuff out on vinyl, but for people that are, I would pass that information on. They're not in the UK though. I think they were in Europe.
The Canada. But I think there's one in Canada that does low range.
Is there?
Yeah. And they're pretty good. So the CD people that I use is CD Baby in the US.
Yeah, I've known other people use CD Baby. I mean, there was a time when I used to do my own CDs.
Because they're competitive. They're very competitive. And they do a damn good job, and they've been doing it for years. So some people don't like them. I don't use them for distribution though, because I know they have a distribution arm, and they always email me asking me, "You can come across." I'm like, no.
I've actually got a multi-CD. I've got I think it burns eight CDs at once. I've still got that, although it very rarely gets switched on.
Yeah, there's a guy in my city. He's well known, who does CD duplication. I know him. I actually know him quite well. So I could use him, but he's just much more expensive. Chris probably knows who he is too. He's much more expensive.
Pro Copy?
Yeah, Pro Copy. The owner's name's Mark. He's a nice guy. He's well known in the music industry in my city. So
I mean, I tend to feel that
expensive.
physical media will sell at gigs. I mean, I very rarely sell anything through. I mean, you can buy the CDs that I've through Sinners Music Bandcamp, but we very infrequently sell them. I think I've sold about 4 CDs this year.
Oh, yeah.
So
I probably sell
it's
4 CDs a year too. You know, it's not there for like putting food on the table. That's for sure. It's just more just you get people who want to have a copy for reasons or whatever.
I tend to. I mean, I've still got all my CDs. Although I've actually now we've started to declutter. I've sold CDs that I actually don't like. You know, or I thought I don't know why I bought that. You know, that type of thing. But most of my CDs I've kept. I now buy CDs that I can't get
Ranzee
on streaming services.
He sold those.
You know,
just
so I buy on. No. I mean, I buy on Bandcamp. But I tend not to download most of the albums. I just stream them on the Bandcamp app, and I've got Apple Music.
See, this is the other thing too.
If I can't get it on that,
so we're talking about all this, right? But this is important for people like Darren, who's sitting right next to me, but on the other side of the world. And I should just punch him in the head right now. Darren, when you're big at putting hats on and T-shirts on and stuff like that, right? But when you do your live show, you should merch up. Definitely.
Have some.
I don't think there's any point in that. It'll be more sort of. If you remember, I don't know if you remember a sketch show, and it was Phil Paphitis in the Dragon's Den when he goes, "Your product is shit. I'm out."
I've heard that guy. He's an idiot.
But no, actually, seriously, Darren. I mean, when you're doing, actually, the EMOMs that I've been to, you don't tend to see that many people doing merch, do you, Andy?
No, you don't.
But actually,
nowhere to put it.
Normally, no, you just have a little box.
But the reality
when I bring my truck, I'm not got anywhere to put.
If you're doing other gigs,
put some CDs and T-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little box that usually stays in the car because there's usually nowhere to put it. But yeah, or if somebody asks you, then
one of the questions I get asked is, do you have? I mean, I can't believe I still get asked this, but do you have CDs? Yep. The answer is yep every time. Because I know that the next time I do something somewhere, someone's going to ask me if I've got a CD. I'm going to go, here it is.
Yeah.
And you don't want to say, oh no, I don't actually, because I'm a millennial and we don't believe in CD.
I'm going to have to go.
You just pull out a card.
We're finishing, Brooks.
On it.
Yeah.
I'm due elsewhere fairly soon.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
I'm going to Grace's. Yeah. Oh, pumpkin time.
Pumpkin time.
Well, before you go, mate, I know I've got a low battery. Yes, I'll charge you in a minute. I'm getting talked to by the battery. Don't forget, watch the track tomorrow. Yeah, watch the track tomorrow. Main reason is for you to guess the 2 synths that's on it. Name the synth, basically. It's a track, but name the 2 synths.
Will do.
It'll be in the live set probably as well, so that'll be a good idea for you to try and name the 2 synths. And like I say, there's all the effects on the synths are what's on the synths, but forget the drums and the vocals. Okay.
All right,
guys. Concentrate on the synths.
We will rip the band-aid off really fast and end the show like that because we have to. Yeah, ripping all the hairs out at the same time.
Okay, I'll take care.
Yeah, good to see you all.
All the best, everyone. Thanks, chatties.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Stuff.
Wrong.